Well, I'm just waiting on you guys.
And we're
All
live.
good.
All right. So, welcome everybody to Sleeping Giants Reborn, season 2, etc.
Literally.
Yeah. We got together an hour early and we're starting 11 minutes late because apparently we're cursed to never get off on time. So who would like to do the recap of last week's game?
I just want to point out, you very nearly got yourself in a very difficult situation with that phrasing. Gonna move on from there.
I'll do it.
Yeah, sure. If you want to do it.
Okay, so we ended 2 weeks ago with a fight. So we cleaned up after the fight and made sure that all the people that, would get arrested on the spot instantaneously were out of the way before we decided to do that. Salah got herself a ride out of here, said her goodbyes, told Rivallon to stay away from the south part of the continent. Rivallon also did some shopping, found out he needed a job. We all need a job, we're all kind of skint. And then we almost got arrested. It was quite a scary time.
Well,
It's a running theme for us.
Yeah, true.
Basically, Book of Mog knows the names of the people. Red does not. So Gordon Monet of the Thanes of Paramin. They're basically the spy agency of Paramin. Very much wanted to know about Salah and her compatriots, and decided to rob all the magic users of all their powers before they did that. So we are now on our way back to the Red Rogue. Isaac to mostly go to sleep and try and get back some attunement with all of his magical thingy-bobs, and the rest of us to get hammered.
Accurate.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
We're gonna get some actual decent kebabs because we're actually in a city that makes decent kebabs.
Kebab. So, yeah, you have left the area and have moved back to the Red Rogue. Do remember you have to have a full night's rest to gain the benefits of your level up. That was something that did happen at the end of last session for everyone out there. So everybody here is now level 9.
Level 9.
9.
We should go over what we did for our level ups.
Could do, or we could leave it to be a surprise if you don't want to share.
Sure.
Let's leave it to be a surprise. But there was a level up, so make your own judgments on that. So, you've all arrived back at the Red Rogue after not too long of travel. You weren't too far away. And is there anything specific? I know Isaac wants to go to sleep.
No, I'm doing 4 hours of studying and then going to sleep.
Okay.
What he means to say is attunement and then sleep.
Right. So, what's everyone else doing?
Drink.
A drink sounds good.
Drink.
Okay. Just remember, if you did have an attuned item.
I didn't. I think Sesh's shield is.
No, we checked
No.
that. It's not.
It's not. Okay.
Isaac,
I think Ustini and Isaac were. And Rivallon's bow.
bow.
Yeah.
I mean, it only takes an hour to attune. It's just I've got a large number and need the night's sleep.
Yep. And Rivallon's can just meditate, so it's not like he's in any danger of
True. Yeah,
not
that's
being
fair.
able to
Yeah.
with a full rest. So, okay. So you all get together for a night of revelry, other than the individuals that must take time to attune and sleep. Anything specifically? You're
Is that
looking to do?
barmaid back? Like a roach reaches for his dice. Like, all right, let's do this. And then pours them all out on the table.
You
They're
take
all
186 damage.
You take you get
They were
slapped
all
in the face.
stuck inside the container. I couldn't get them out. So I
Yep.
just-
The barmaid approaches you and slaps you across the face. You take 10d6
Nah,
points
you don't
of
see the
damage.
same one on that you saw during that night.
All right. Sesh will go to bed alone then.
Okay. Oh.
She's not really in the mood to put any more additional effort into it. She's like, I'm after having like half a bottle of rum. I'm going to bed.
Chances with her again.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just going. Fuck it. I'm going to sleep. I'm after having like a half a bottle of whiskey. I'm good. Peace.
Half a bottle.
Yep. Hey, it's what I drink in a night.
So, Sasha's got
Still
a
go to work
slight
the next
haze
day.
on then.
Yeah, I still go to work the next day. So, yep.
All right. What was
Yeah.
what was that?
Okay. Mog goes to bed as well. She's
All right.
peeved at the world.
Peeved at the world.
I'm
It's
mad.
good. It's a good. It's a good way of describing it, I guess. Okay. Is there anything?
Christina wants a kebab, of
Is
course.
there anything Ustinia and Rivallon want to do, or are you just gonna wind down for the night after getting there?
No, nothing I want to do.
Ustinia.
Yeah, just gonna wind down.
Okay. All right. So, you all wind down for the night, start back to your rooms, and fall asleep after kind of an interesting day. Is a good way of describing it. And fall asleep. And you all wake up in the morning. Nobody has a dream.
Thank
you.
Nobody has any weird dreams. They all wake up in their own bed.
Contact with
all
gods
wake
or
up.
demons.
I don't wake
Well,
up
guys,
on Mount
when we go to
Celeste
sleep.
slightly hungover.
And that's the end of the entire live stream and everything because they all died
Yep.
Just
from the
in their
contagion
sleep.
they were infected
No
with.
watch. No watch.
Can you
No
give us
watch.
the
They all got their
benefits,
throats
uh,
slit.
F. My passive perception is 19. Did they pass that? Yes, actually. All right, cool.
Long rest.
Okay. Con back
Um,
up to 19.
You're like,
Everybody,
the HP,
everybody
the
is
HP.
able to spend their time reattuning to their items. So Stenny's got his axe, Rivallon's got his bow, Isaac's got his character.
assortment. Mitch has his character back now. Just his assortment of shit.
Please give me my stats back.
Isaac's one of those guys. Just, I'm nothing without these stuff. It's just-
Yeah, it's very true.
Is Rivallon trying to sneak in Session's room?
No, Rivallon's testing out his sneaking abilities.
Don't waste all
Pretty
those
damn
good
good.
rolls.
Man, there's like
Some good
one
rolls.
roll in
Waste-
there where Sesh doesn't see you.
wasting
2
all the
rolls in
luck.
there. Yeah.
To be
Wasting
fair,
all
actually,
the
he
luck.
hasn't rolled above a 15, so they're not all good rolls. He's just insane.
I mean, possible, yes.
This active.
Oh, there we go. There's the good
there
roll.
we go.
There it is. How many rolls in equals
Uh,
that? 1, 2, 3. 9 rolls in.
9 rolls. 1 and 9 for a decent roll. It's not bad.
That's okay for math.
But you all awake in the morning, starting to get used to this place. You've paid up for the week, if I recall.
Bit of a headache. Bit of a headache going on here.
But there's breakfast available. You have it. It is a hot and muggy morning in Paramount.
Welcome to the desert, bitch. On the coast of the desert.
Coastal desert. Yep.
So when you see Mog coming down to breakfast, her backpack is floating behind her.
Okay. Fine. Well.
Morning. This is Bob. He's my new friend.
Hi, Bog.
Bog
A
or
moderately
Bob?
hungover.
Bob.
Bob.
You know when
Okay.
you've been working on something and you finally managed to crack it.
Hello.
Could you like turn down the volume a little bit, please?
No,
No.
definitely not.
Hmm.
Why would we
I cast
turn down the
restoration on
volume?
I cast less restoration on myself. Fuck you guys.
Well, I finally figured out how to get a friend for the road. So this is Bob. Bob can go away now.
So-
Bob.
You made a friend out of your backpack.
No. You
Does
can't
he do
see
any
him,
tricks?
But he is a person. He just can carry stuff and sort of hide.
Unseen servant. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
I was
Isaac just
thinking- I was
Isaac
thinking, like-
thought you'd enchanted a backpack overnight and was like, "Why the backpack?"
So Esha was like, did she summon something to this plane of existence? Just...
No, not yet.
Oh, actually, I won't use less restoration. Sesh's hands glow and the headache goes away. That's it. Me.
I was just checking to see how much your backpack weighed because the unseen servant only has a strength of 2, so can't
You
do a
would've
lot.
F's in chat for that man.
Look.
Needs to flex more.
Roach,
But you're fine.
don't be mean about fun stuff.
No. I was just checking because to be fair, it would have been funny
Here's
if it
Roach.
was dragging the backpack.
You'd be like Isaac trying to drag Sesh.
Funny
essentially.
enough, you only have like 5 pounds worth of things inside of your
I have a
backpack.
strength of 12. This is.
Sesh with all her armor on weighs like 500 pounds.
Yeah.
I think drag. I don't know what your drag is at that level, but it's probably not that high.
Who knows?
Who knows?
But yes,
Somebody who gives a shit would.
Your unseen servant is toting your backpack behind you.
No, not anymore.
an hour.
He's put the backpack down and I've told him he can go now. Thank you. I know how to treat the servant.
Goes away.
Thank you. Yeah,
That is-
because Mog grew up as a noble.
Was
then.
it worth it for that level 1 spell that you only have 2 spell slots of throughout the day? Or no, it's a ritual. You
It's
can
my
guess it as
ritual.
ritual. Right.
I see why she went ritual caster then. Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Cool. Very cool.
I like
Very
it. I like it.
As long as your fights take a couple hours of time, you can do some really cool shit.
I've only got 2 ritual
Roach.
spells at the moment.
Ah.
And I'm not going to do it yet.
Don't be mean to our warlock. They're very.
Hey. She doesn't get a pass from the ribbing. She doesn't get a pass from the ribbing.
I
I'm going to
wouldn't
review
want
all
one.
equally.
I wouldn't
Hey,
want-
listen, right? We still rib rival. We have to rib red too.
Yeah.
That's just how
Hell,
things
we
work.
still rib Crimson and he's not even here.
Where the fuck is that dude, man?
He's doing live streams now, actually, like with his
Oh.
friend time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Post about it on his
Good on
Discord,
him.
dude.
Well
Some
done.
Good stuff. Please log Satisfactory or whatever that game is. And...
Factorio?
No,
Satisfactory.
Oh.
Satisfactory. There we go.
Oh, is that like the one where you need to make an assembly line?
Yeah,
No,
it's on Epic.
Factorio.
It's the first person one. No, you do the same thing in Satisfactory as well. It's just the
Sub-
it's the
no,
first
it's like
person.
if you combine Subnautica and Factorio, that's what it is.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you don't do a
Boring to me,
good
but-
job, the machines eat you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Righty-ho.
Very
what-
very portal-esque. They apologize while they do it.
This was a triumph.
Okay.
See,
We had an
Seems-
hour to get the zoomies out. So stop.
What
Damn
is
cats.
our plan for today, given what happened last night? Are you feeling better, Isaac, by the way?
Much better.
He doesn't look as pale.
We kill
Which is-
everything.
Good.
I like Rivallon's plan.
Well, we have a job to do for these people.
and they have agreed to pay us however much that will be.
I don't care about the pay.
I do.
Rivallon does.
Well, hey, it can fund things. Money, gold will fund things. Gold greases the wheels of palms and murder.
I just want to point out, I had this nightmare last night about us trying to play a skyship in metal to fight a dragon. Terrible idea, don't do it.
Oh,
Duly
does
noted.
sound- you can now do the meme
the
thing
metal
where you
kind of started melting because of the dragon's fire, and we couldn't put enough metal on it anyway to protect it because it was too heavy, and we couldn't get all the weapons on because we couldn't put enough ammunition on board. And then when the metal started like
I
melting
wonder
because
whose
of all the
fucking
heat,
stupid idea that was.
the wood underneath set fire from the heat off the metal that was melting, and the whole thing fell out the sky with
I'm
us on
guessing there were
board.
some conversations on the players' chat during the week.
Them
about,
players are up to something, and it's mostly ribbing me right now. But hey, I can take it. And Rival's smiling, so I'm. You know what? It's worth it. If Rival smiles, it's worth it. All right, congrats, buddy. It's nice to see you smile.
Rival's basically half asleep right now. So.
Does it have something to do with the fact that Mikey came to me in the middle of the week and going like, so what would I need to build a skyship?
Not build, design.
You're
Those are two very different things. But yes,
Okay.
I did do that.
I think my abject not answering for 2 days.
Yeah, I may have posted
indicated-
a response that was just, okay, I think this GIF does it, and it was just a bruh GIF, because
Bruh.
bruh. It's a dude falling out of camera with the letters bruh super fixed on it.
So, what do y'all want to do?
Well, Mog wants a way to get about 1,500 gold in a hurry, but she knows she can't do that. So in the meantime, she might do some painting.
Well, we've
sell
got
those.
this job to do, which might pay out quite well. If we're looking for money, it's probably wise we do it.
I agree.
Especially as not to piss off the authorities who did manage to dispel everything about us and take us into basically black bags us into a room. I'm
Clearly-
normally on the other end of those things. I was not very comfortable.
Did it feel, well, congrats, you now know both sides of that story.
That's the point. We need to reattune to our equipment, don't we?
I
Yeah,
assumed
not
that
what
you
I
did
did
that
last-
last night, before you went to bed, because you had a couple hours, and you only need 1 hour to attune to an item.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, we've had a long rest, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sesh is going to cast Sending.
All right.
She's going to contact Veronica Holara. You should recognize that name from her backstory, Roach. See, I actually made up an entire squad back in.
Yeah. No. Now I need to fucking find.
I have it
your
open already.
write-up.
If you want me to tell her who she is.
I gotta find the write up. The problem is I've got it saved somewhere.
You want me to link it to you again? I already have it open.
I
Because I needed to remind myself of what her name was because I forgot.
yeah, you're gonna have to send it to me because I'm not sure if I'm not sure which one.
There you go.
yours is. 'Cause I was able to download it one time, but apparently didn't download it again. Download that. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, she's going to cast Sending, and assuming Veronica is still alive and on this plane, because she doesn't know, she hasn't seen her in months. Veronica, it's Sesh. Spooks on way to Alhut. Keep eye out for elves who can only speak Draconic. And that's 24.
Right. Okay. All right. So you hear the voice, the familiar voice of Veronica, who you have. It hasn't been that long, but it's been almost a year, in total since you last saw her. answer back, Sesh, is that you? Thank you for the information, however cryptic it might be. I'll keep an eye out.
Rivallon projects his voice. Sesh slept with a barmaid.
Unfortunately, that's not how the spell works. Good
And
try.
the actual barmaid is behind the bar right now because she's on the morning shift. All right, I marked it down on my
We need
spell
to
list.
find Rivallon like
Okay.
a magic item called like the Stone of Interruption, where he can interrupt people's messages and like send his own extra little tagline to people.
Please
sending
don't.
spells.
Please don't.
Please do.
Sesh just gives herself a nod and then returns back to the party.
Right.
Rivallon, did I hear you say you found a magic shop yesterday?
Yes.
Would you be able to take me there at some point?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good talk.
Rivallon, has your voice gotten deeper? Yarp.
So, Roach, how much information will be given by the Thanes on what we had to do? They said they would organize us passage, but
They would talk to you. They'd come. Somebody would get in
okay,
contact
they
with
will
you.
find us. Fine, cool.
Yeah,
I mean, they
couldn't
know where
tell
we're
us
staying,
anything.
so
Oh, that's a point. Morg also wants to find a library because she's going to try and find news about the fort that got burnt down on the border. She knows it's a long way away
library,
from here,
a
but there
place.
might be sort of.
The internet of the medieval times.
the library.
Only
Morg
place
is
to get
good
your
at
current
books.
affairs.
Let her
and
be
history.
good at something.
Yeah.
Fair, yes.
You're good at getting stabbed, burned, tortured.
No, that's me. I'm the one good at getting stabbed.
Don't
I'm
take that
gonna
away
get
from him,
burned.
okay? He's got all the lacerations on his stomach to prove it.
Oh yeah, those scars don't heal well, do they, bud?
All the punching dagger scars from that 17-year-old.
Half his size girl who just decided shift die.
Today is the day I roll natural 20s, bitch. Stab, 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 stab.
All right. Okay. So Mog wants to go to a library or some place where she can get some information.
Books.
Books.
Just wants books.
Books. Where does Isaac want to go today?
Isaac wants to go buy some incognito robes, so he doesn't have to be wearing a robe of Palor everywhere under a bit of armor.
Okay.
Oh, Rivallon wants to create a neon sign that can like rotate over Isaac, saying "Follower of Palor," and make it flash.
You
How
have
flat?
to want
Like,
me
are we
to be
talking
stabbed?
RGB, like rainbow vomit, or are we talking like strip club flashing?
Strip club, you know, that kind of thing where it starts off with like just like follower, and then lights up
Slowly.
a different color, pay of, and then the last one is Palor,
Yeah.
and then the arrows
It's like an
lights up.
off-white, then a
Yeah.
blue, then like a bright white.
Isaac would like to quicken cast teleportation
Nope.
circle, push Rivallon into it, and send him fucking miles away.
Where am I?
So Isaac wants to get some clothes.
Yes.
Sesh, what do you want to do today?
What's Justinia doing? She'll do that.
Justinia, what do you want to do today?
The barmaid.
I'm just. Yeah. No, there's nothing really that I have no connections to this place. We're obviously under pseudo house arrest, sort of pseudo detention, so I can't go anywhere else. So I mean, I'm just going to tag along with anyone. I guess Sesh, whatever Sesh is going to do.
And now we just look at each other like, where are we
Like,
going?
I've got nothing to buy.
No, they both look at the
Out
barmaid.
of all the characters, mine genuinely has the least to do with them.
I want to bring your might want to bring your mic down just a little.
Oh,
tiny
sorry.
you're-
I'm
you're-
leaning in.
you're
I'm
peeking,
leaning
you're
into it.
peeking
I'm
really
leaning
fast.
into it.
Midgestad,
through,
Midgestad,
instinct.
Instinct,
Midgestad.
We all saw it.
Took him a half minute of us saying his dad was there for him to get it.
We all love Midge Dad.
Midgestad.
Happy retirement, Midge Dad.
I knew he was there. I just was editing Utari's audio levels.
Midge's passive
it should be
perception
better.
is the same as Isaac's. One of the two.
I guess
I
Sesh
get
would go
the
to the
instinct
gallows
of leaning
district.
into it. Gallows
Like, I
district,
guess-
okay.
Yeah, I guess if like Ustinia's like, I don't know what to do, Sesh is like, I could visit the gallows district. Why not?
Sightseeing.
Yeah.
And what does Rivallon want to do?
Barmaid.
A different,
guess-
more buxom barmaid.
Unless he's gonna
Or
be
less buxom,
Isaac's
depending on what you're into,
protector.
I guess.
Yeah, basically,
that's-
he's going to keep an eye on Isaac. He's going to do his super stealth thing and just keep an eye on Isaac until he gets some robes that don't actually, like,
They
Good
don't have the
play.
tailor cut. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not in Palorian colors. That's
Well, the
a
Palor
bonus.
cut, like they were made by a Palorian
Paler
tailor.
cut.
Yeah.
Paler cut. Is that
You know,
like,
like
a
there's
haircut?
dwarven
Is that
cut,
like
there's
a Karen
elvish
haircut?
cut. Yeah. There's like
Like, you
dwarven
can-
cut, there's elvish cut,
You
there's
can only
draconic
tell
cut. Yeah.
I'm a Palorian if I take off my breastplate.
Well, then
will-
don't take off your breastplate. You're good.
Exactly, but I'm
In which
getting
case,
some...
why are you buying clothes? You're wasting money.
Give it to
No,
Rivallon so
I-
you can buy more arrows.
Yeah.
No.
So, you all
You've seen Isaac
dis-
without magic items. I need my money.
Yeah. You
I mean,
all
yeah.
spend the day, or not spend the day. You spend like an hour together working out the day, what you're gonna all be doing, kind of figuring out a plan, eating your breakfast, and kind of working everything out, discussing amongst yourself. About probably 5 or 6 minutes before you were planning on leaving the table, you were whoever few were still eating were just finishing up their plates and finishing off all your drinks. Y'all see a. Why do I keep saying y'all today? I don't know.
Y'all.
Y'all.
You've been
Y'all.
playing Red Dead again.
No, I haven't. That's the thing. I haven't been playing Red Dead again. I know that happens.
Y'all.
Y'all.
I got a plan, Arthur. Got a plan.
You see an individual approach the table, nondescript person wearing earthy colors that doesn't really stand out from a crowd in any way. Not wearing a mask, full face, but very plain. They walk up to the table and they're wearing kind of long robes. And for like maybe just a half beat too long of silence, then that's comfortable, and then they start. The commander has informed me to provide you a upfront payment. Take this, and she takes out they take out a bag and place it on the table. Be at the docks 2 days from now in the morning. Go to the third pier.
Rat dogs or grand dogs?
Grand docks.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Have a
I take the
fabulous
bag and
day.
I look in it.
Okay.
look in the bag.
Inside
Yep.
the bag, you see a shitload of platinum pieces.
Rivallon,
What?
you may like these. Let's go to a
Rectangle each.
room.
Let's
Yeah.
go upstairs.
Let's go to a room.
Let's go upstairs.
Let's go to a room.
How many platinum pieces have we got?
Well, fine, I'll tell you in 1 minute. Let's go to a room.
I think your version of a shitload compared to my version of a shitload is slightly freaking different.
I take the bag and go to my room because
Isn't
I don't want to
one
count them in
shitload
the
to
public.
you?
Yeah.
Mog runs after her.
Yeah, I don't want to count these platinum pieces in the middle of a
It's
bar.
tempting.
That's a bad idea.
Rivallon is actually hanging onto the back of Sesh.
Just
Isaac definitely has other uses for money now other than magic
Christine is like, gold? Please. It's very nice.
Please.
I need to buy
So-
teleport locations.
If
Oh.
you take,
How much does
if
that
you-
cost?
Shitload of platinum pieces. He's trying to get all the money.
It costs a singular unit of a shit ton.
You take some time, and it takes a while to actually count this much.
Hold
Oh,
up, let
it
me
says
pull up a
sesh.
calculator. Right, go.
You count inside of the bag 1,000 platinum pieces.
That's
10k.
10,000 gold.
Oh my god. Oh my
That's
god.
10k, and there are 5 of us, so that's 2,000 gold each.
Yeah. Nice, easy maths.
Easy math. Quick math.
Ooh.
Just like to point
That's
out,
your-
your shitload and my shitload don't match.
That's a lot of
That's,
gold, man.
No, it's not.
That's a lot of
enough to-
gold.
No,
That's
it's
enough
not.
to probably buy like a whole
A nice
fast.
house and retire.
Yeah, I'm not buying houses.
Yeah, but investing in real estate's a good idea. Invest in real estate now.
2,000
I'm
gets you more than enough
investing
to
in
make
real
your
estate. I'm not
arrows.
investing in real estate.
I heard words there
Hey.
about arrows.
2, 3.
Paramin's
yeah, it gives
stock
you
is
more
on
than
the
enough to
uptake,
buy
okay,
arrows.
Isaac? It's a nice port town with great neighborhood and a big marketplace and an up and coming war.
Yes, but it's fucking hot and everyone got hung here at one point. I don't think I want to stick around.
Well, you see,
Everyone you like got hung.
yeah, she said it, not
Exactly.
me. Okay.
But you all, you will have now been given your upfront payment.
I'll give Rivallon 500 gold. Here, buy yourself some arrows.
On top of,
Yeah, on top of the
You don't need to do that.
well, you have it now.
Okay.
on top of the 200 platinum pieces he just received.
Yeah.
I've just put
Well,
it down
yeah.
as gold.
Yeah, I've just.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I've
there
just
is-
split
Because I
that into gold.
understand
So
gold.
I already have almost 50 platinum pieces. So technically I
There
already.
is.
I have 49 platinum pieces.
So I'm just giving you here. Take this. Here's an investment on my. I'm investing in you. Essentially, is what I'm doing here, which makes sense. So
But you've
How
received
much do
your.
we have in the party fund?
I'll tell you right now.
Oh, not a lot.
Not a lot. Yeah, we
Not a
have fucking nothing.
we used
We
it.
have like
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
have
yeah,
like
we paid the guys, didn't
well,
we?
we do have 30 platinum, so we technically have about 400 gold pieces in there, give or take, maybe a bit more because of all the silver.
Did you get that money as well, Ustenia?
Yep.
Okay.
2k.
Okay.
If you-
So, Mog is going to go give Sesh 107 gold pieces to put in the party fund.
Okay. Hang on. 107 for Mog. I will put in another 500.
I'll take 186 off me.
And then 186. Anybody else want to add to the party fund?
I will see once I've come back from shopping.
Cool. Ustinia, do you want to add anything to the party fund? Remember, this is just gold. You can go, hey, I need to buy something and take it out again if you
Magic
want.
shop.
It's just the bank.
Okay. I'll put
Magic shop, Rivallon. That would be
725.
wonderful.
Plus
After we've made
725.
sure that
So,
Isaac's safe
Let me-
because he's a muppet.
and then we
Again,
add-
I haven't got very many things to spend money on. I'm already doing
Right, so-
ridiculously well on armor.
Fair. Roach, that would give us a total of 1,590 gold pieces in the party fund with everything added together. That's with the 72
1,590.
included. Yeah, that's with the 72 included. So yeah.
Alright.
That's the money
I'm
you
updating
leave
that.
in the hotel room, just in case.
Yeah,
Someone wants to steal it.
Yeah.
that's the money that the buxom barmaid steals.
So, you've been given your upfront payment and a timeline where to be.
Yep.
And
My
when
arrows
to
won't be
there.
ready in time. Damn.
Some might be.
No. She said it'll take a week.
Oh.
And by
But you
she,
can
I
order
mean
them.
Roach.
And by Roach, you
order
mean
them
that
when we're-
one dwarven character
Yes.
who happens to run a shop.
Yes.
But you can commission it and then come pick it up later.
You can just tell her here, I'll just pay you in full. I'll pick it up when I come back.
And now I need to figure out how many arrows I want.
Start doing math, bro. Have fun.
And
No,
it's
he's
not.
got a red
Start
for that.
trying to get what's it called? You know, what types, what things. Get your breakdown. I might require Sesh to help me. She's probably better at convincing people in this local area for something that we will need.
Frost.
So are you asking Sesh to go with you?
Yes. Well, at least for part of the day. We can meet up later if you need to do things.
Sure. Why not?
15 of each.
15 of each.
If it'll help.
So, Isaac, yes. Well, once I've got some different robes, I'm going to look to see if we can get ourselves
200 for the elementals.
access to a teleportation circle. I was doing some thinking last night, and well, considering I did some hard meditation on the same feelings I felt when we went through the one Liban had created, and I think I could make them now if I had
You would get a
essentially the
discount if you got
coordinates. It's
What are coordinates?
Isaac explains what coordinates are because cartography is
Cartographer,
his
yep.
thing. Yeah. So it's
She's like,
basically
oh, that's what those are. Okay.
Fair. Okay.
it's
so 15
it's the address of every location. Every spot on the world has coordinates. And but basically, yeah, Isaac wants to get us away back to Paramin if we needed to be here
+1,
quick.
so just +1.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should actually. We could probably ask Gordon if we could still use that warehouse to teleport back into. Not the one that he took us to, the one that we came here originally in, because it's abandoned anyway.
I've also got 49 platinum.
Well, actually,
So you've got
if the
490 gold.
I need to buy some chalk as well for that reason. So I'll
Yeah,
need
the
to go to
magic chalk.
shop.
Yeah.
But
5, 6, 9.
if that
5, 6, 9.
circle is actually carved in, surely that means it's a permanent circle location, right? I could go to it. Roach?
Hmm?
If
What do you wanna
if
do?
Liban carved the
Make
What's
an
it
make a how many days has it been?
So that's 8.
Make a intelligence check.
Yeah.
Can I give him advantage because we're discussing this?
It's 6,000.
Sure.
9 would be.
It's mostly for memory.
is this an Arcana check?
No, this is just to remember something.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is your brain on drugs.
That's a
Oh,
2.
advantage. You have advantage for me.
Oh,
rolling.
right, yeah.
2 each.
Better.
It's a 12.
Again.
All right. The circle
That'll be 1200.
in the citadel was
It's up to you.
carved.
It's your money.
Yeah.
The one at the warehouse was not. It was it was a chalk circle, and you saw the remnants of the now mundane, usually used to be magic chalk left that had been scattered after the circle dissipated. You remember now after discussing what was back there. It was so dark, but
So we would need to
Yeah.
find somewhere.
Yeah, I forget.
But local institutions tend to have
I forget 8
them.
of the elementals.
It just might
Well,
take some convincing.
And hopefully
I'm
that's-
assuming if we asked our
And
spook
extra
friends,
gold.
they could find somewhere.
and
Cool.
then
Possibly.
we'll get our bonus payment.
Roach, did they say if there was any particular way to contact them? If we could just like leave a note somewhere, or if there was a dead drop location, or
Nope.
anything like that?
didn't give you
I
anything
believe
like
we
that.
asked about that, and they said they'd find
They'll
us.
find us.
Right, Sesh writes up a note in. Actually, she'll ask Izzy to write up a note in Celestial that says, "We need a location to teleport back to if we need to use if we need to exfil quickly."
Okay, I can do that.
Because because Draconic is too common in this area, so
No one's gonna speak Celestial around here.
I mean, maybe,
They might have a mog.
They
maybe.
might have a Mog, yeah, exactly. They're the only people. Me and a Mog were the only people that would speak that.
Yeah.
Or
Gotta find a few
Bahamut
Mogs around.
himself, if he turns up again.
So, what's your plan? Is it still the same as it was
To the magic shop!
previously?
Well, Yeah, Sesh is going with Isaac now. So if Ustinia wants to come with us too, it's up to him.
Well, if we're all going to the magic shop first, that makes sense. We'll all go to the magic shop, and then we'll.
Well, in that case,
depart
let me
from
go
there.
in first.
Sure, you've got the
Okay.
biggest order. I'm
No, it's
literally
not
going
that.
in for
I was
chalk.
thinking more along the lines of person knows me.
Fair?
That's also true, yeah.
Look, I brought
Right,
my
Rivallon?
friends. Give me a discount.
We've
I've
done
brought my
by
friends.
buying
Give me a
lot.
bulk order discount, please.
Oh no,
You can do the talking, Rivallon.
Actually, yeah. Sesh kind of if you do say that, Sesh will go. That's actually pretty smart.
So,
You might want to
all
sit down,
head-
Sesh. You're obviously getting lightheaded.
Possibly.
So you all head to the magic shop that Rivallon found previously. You find it easily enough, doesn't take long to get there, and you enter Rivallon.
Mm-hmm.
When you do, you are greeted by the same woman that you saw previously, sitting behind the counter. By the looks of it, probably was in the middle of eating her breakfast or maybe brunch or something like that. It looks to be like some soft cheese and like a knife on the counter, and she's like mid cutting it when the door opens, and you can hear like the rustling of wrappers and stuff like. Yes.
Hello again.
Hello.
I have an order, and several of my compatriots here would also like to purchase off you as well.
Well, come in. I'll see what I can do.
I just
Rivallon,
want
do
to
you
explore
go
the
first?
place.
I'm going to have a look round the shop.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Okay.
look around the shop as well, see if I spy
I
anything
don't need to
interesting.
put my eyes on. Everything's magic.
Problem is that this is a commission-based business, so the only things available are the things that nobody paid for after
Sure,
commissioning.
could be
her.
there could be something
Yeah, but
interesting.
something could be something
So-
cool.
Yeah,
So there's actually very few items in the shop. There's nothing on your side of the counter to look at. There is a shelf behind her that has a couple of items kind of laid out and a rack that has a few items. But that's
Anything
kind
that
of it.
Boosts wisdom.
I look at my sheet. No, I don't need that.
Oh yes, you do.
if it's a +2 to wisdom, yeah, I'll take it. But no.
God damn.
Roach just like shaking his head like, I'm never putting any wisdom boosting items in this fucking game. You crazy bastards.
No, it just puts me in places that only Rivallon can find, right?
Maybe.
I mean, Isaac could always do it.
Isaac could always do with some items to improve every single fucking stat he has.
I'm just looking for those tomes, the ones that you can read and they improve a stat, but you can't use them again for 100 years. I need some of them.
Yeah, that's in their Fallout 4, mate. You can't find them in this world.
Or in
You're
Fallout New
exist?
Vegas.
You're crossing them over again. And they were
Crossing them
bobbleheads.
wires, bruh. Yeah.
I've found something that I might want to investigate. Chase.
Ooh.
Oh.
Magical half plate.
Ooh.
We're getting spicy here, Justinia. We getting
Now-
spicy.
And
That'll bring me
Urge is
up to
going, "Oh, for
23
God's
AC.
We're
sake."
never going to hit him again.
It'll go up to 23 AC then.
Oh,
If
my
I can get a +1 half plate.
And then Roach will only send us against creatures that use lightning magic. Just
Or
shock him to
um,
death.
Or
Area of
things that have,
effect.
like-
Days!
or things that
Uh,
have like a +20 to hit.
Yeah, which means the
Like
rest of us
AoE,
are
just-
screwed.
Yeah.
just AoE. There's like one guy just firing Kona cold all the time.
There is when you look around, you do see there is a set of bracers on a shelf. There are a few bottles that look to be potions of some sort. And there looks to be a hat. Like just a very mundane looking generic gray hat as well. There's only two actual items that don't look to be specifically potions of some sort. You
I
can see on
will.
the shelves.
I greet her in Dwarven because I speak that. What exactly do you have in stock? I'm just curious.
Well, we have a selection of potions to steal the body and heal from wounds. had a commission from the guard contingent, and they've seems their funding has been a little lax this month, so they've haven't been able to take everything.
Does happen.
A odd gentleman came and had commissioned a article of clothing to help him blend in. I assume he had something he had to do, but he never showed up afterwards. I'm not sure where he went, and it's been a few months, so it's for sale. And these bracers were commissioned by a sharpshooter with the bow right before a competition last year. Unfortunately, she was caught cheating, and that didn't work out too well for her. So the
Did you
item's
take
still
an
here.
arm or a hand?
Oh, the guards didn't do anything. It was a competition that did it, and let's just say they didn't miss that time.
Yeah, I'd almost rather be caught by the guard in that instance.
So the bracers, what do they give? It's like +1 to attack or something.
They allow you to more easily hone in on your target and strike true. It's +2 to damage rolls.
Oh shit.
This is where
How
all
much
the
for the
money we just
braces?
put in the party fund is gone. Party fund gone.
I'm just
One
here for
second.
some chalk.
Listen, man, I'm just here for some goddamn chalk, okay?
I just need some
I would like some
magically ink-infused chalks.
magical ink, if you've got any.
Let's do that. Okay, give me 1 second.
I'm just wondering
So
how much
this
the
is where I'm
bracers-
glad I'm a barbarian. I don't have ongoing costs.
Yeah, you don't have. Yeah,
You're just like,
What's
I'm just here
get
so
more?
I can hit things.
currently, the bracers themselves cost 1,500 gold pieces.
Take my money.
Amazing.
Jesus.
Take my damn money.
And for reference, while wearing these bracers, you have proficiency with a longbow and shortbow and gain a +2 bonus damage to rolls on ranged attacks made with such weapons.
Wait, so if you didn't have proficiency, it'd give you
You would
it?
gain them, yes. And a
That's
+2 to
awesome.
damage.
That's amazing.
That is
like,
awesome.
you could throw that on Mog
It
and she could start
requires-
using a longbow. That's
It
amazing.
requires, yeah, it requires attunement.
Oh, it does require attunement. Okay.
Yes.
And you can
mean,
only have
that
2
would be
items
better.
tuned, is it? So you
Three.
can only have that and 3.
3.
We're just doing the math. 1 second.
I am
moment.
tapped out.
Yeah.
My necklaces.
Sesh will say to Rivallon, if you need a little money out of the party fund you invested in, we can, give you. some."
Also, for the hat, or for the hat you saw, it is a hat of disguise. While wearing this hat, you can use an action to cast Disguise Self, a spell from it at will.
How
Oh,
long does the disguise self work? Like,
Disguise Self is an
An
hour.
hour?
Is it the hour?
Yeah, it's an
Is
hour.
it the hour of the
Yeah,
spell?
it's an
Okay.
hour and you can
Yep.
be anyone you
Then
want to be.
how many charges does the hat have?
It's because Disguise Self is a level 1 spell, and it's an attuned item. It's there is no charges for the hat.
so
of
Sesh could
Disguise.
take that and just be a dwarf.
Well, no, you can only increase or decrease your size
It's
by
Still the
it's-
same
by
size.
1 foot, I think.
Oh,
Um,
right.
uh,
So
if
it's
Sesh could be like a
also
tall
self,
human
it's
or a
8, that's 7.
short
And
giant.
that and if you're looking for if you want to buy the hat, that's 5,000 gold pieces.
All of us need to get sick behind the counter. Just, no.
I have various different sizes and strengths of healing potions if you would like those.
Yeah.
And as for your chalk, I do have a small supply of that. How much are you looking for?
so it's 50 gold a cast. I need.
That'd be fine.
I'm somewhat limited, but I do have.
Yeah.
I can
How much do
provide
you have?
Yeah.
1 moment.
How much do you need?
Walks back.
Well, it's 50 gold pieces worth a cast.
Well, like, yeah, well, that's what I'm asking is, like, do you need 1,000 of it?
I mean, no, but
It's
I
however
might
many
be looking
times
at,
he
like-
wants to cast the spell.
It depends. It depends on how many teleport circles we end up getting
Yeah.
and how often you guys want me to teleport us everywhere.
I mean, to be fair, that would be
All the
something
time.
I would be okay with you taking out of the party fund because it helps the
Yeah.
whole party.
It's
About a
not like
minute
you're
later,
like
she
the other
comes
one
back
who's
with a
like-
small wooden box and places it on the table. I have currently this much. If you require more, I can enchant more, though it does take time, and there is a surcharge. And you look,
How-
you think you can probably get 4 casts out of the amount she has.
Perfect. That's great.
So about 200
that's
gold pieces worth.
Fantastic. Which is 20 platinum.
2 platinum.
20.
10. It's 10 gold pieces.
10
per
for
platinum.
gold. Yeah.
It's
It'd be
20
20 platinum. Yeah, 20 platinum.
Yes.
Yeah, 20 platinum. Okay.
Would you like to take the whole lot?
Yes, I'll take that small box. Thank you.
Okay, she gives you that, and she takes your platinum. Thank you.
I believe our friend here, and I'm like sort of directing my hand at Rivallon,
Yes.
who's talking with Mog. You said you
wanted-
enchant missiles. Can you enchant throwing weapons too?
It's a bit
Like
more
one of these.
difficult. Like I was throwing that dagger.
No, a hatchet, a hand axe.
The problem is that the
That's
enchantment is directly
Nine,
proportional
that's
to
it.
the amount of material that has to be enchanted. An arrowhead can be easily enchanted and attached to a shaft, or the entire arrow itself can be enchanted for about probably 100th the amount of material that current
Yeah.
hatchet contains.
yeah.
So
That's fair.
It proportionally affects how long it takes and how much it costs in materials to enchant.
So, what's the cost for one of these? Would you say, if you had to give me an estimate?
Which would be
I'll
10,500.
think on that, but one moment, I believe your green friend here. You said you wanted ink, dear?
Yes. Do you have any enchanted ink, and do you have any spell scrolls?
Scrolls. I don't normally deal in scrolls. It's not.
Is there anywhere in the city that would? I'm just.
You sometimes can find rare goods traders in the central market that deal in them. I've had to deal with. I will warn you, though, the amount of individuals who are peddling fakes and less than
Reputable?
less than reputable ones are ones that have not near the potency that they promise. I've had to deal with individuals trying to pawn them off on me after having been themselves
Swindled.
yes. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend that unless you're quite good at discerning differences in the arcane.
I'm not.
He's quite talented.
But there's no guarantee. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. It's not a huge market. As for ink, I do have a small supply of ink. I use it for my own purposes, but I can make more. How much are you looking for, dear?
Do you have about 200 golds worth?
One moment.
Thank you.
Goes back behind.
Zesh will turn to Ustinia and say, "Hey, Ustinia, if we can get like a hatchet each enchanted with like one of these throwing projectile things that like Rivallon wants to do with his arrows, they could be a lot more effective. Give us more reason to use them."
Maybe, but I also have longbow.
True, you haven't used it in a while. To be fair,
I have not used my axes much either.
no, that's true. We tend to be very engaged in melee. It's a
Slightly
rare
bigger
situation.
axe now.
Slightly bigger
Yes.
axe. He pulls out a cleave. Just big old curly smile on Ustinia's face. Big old gnarled axe in his hand.
After
Yeah,
after a
might
minute, she
do.
comes back with 2 vials of ink. This is currently all I have available. I would like to keep some for myself.
That's no
I
problem.
would say you could have one of these, and that would amount to about 100 gold pieces worth of ink.
That's absolutely fine. Thank you. Yeah, that's perfect. I hand 100 gold.
She
Could
takes it.
you perhaps make more if my friend here commissions you to?
Ink?
Yes.
It's not normally what I would do, but I wouldn't say no. How much are you looking to overall get? If 100 gold pieces isn't enough for me to start up the process just for you, are you looking for an order of? Can you see her do some math in her head, so her like eyes go unfocused for a second?
I think I'm looking
400
to
gold pieces worth.
I'm probably looking to transcribe about 6 spells if I can find them quickly.
That varies depending on specific spells.
Of course.
I could do a minimum order of 400 gold pieces worth of ink. I could definitely have the materials. It wouldn't take too long, probably by the end of the week.
I don't think. I think we're travelling on, but I think we'll be back reasonably soon. So
I can, as long as you give me a time span in which you will come and receive or take your items and pay for the second part of the payment, I will have them on hold. They won't be put out like these are.
Or if we
These are
pay them in
only-
full, will you just keep them until we come back?
Storage
would I
is
be
limited.
able to send you a message when I know we're coming back? The problem is,
Such as an actual spell, sending a
spell.
message.
yes.
Sending?
Yes,
I
we
would-
have that capability.
Yes, I would. Yes, that could work. Yes.
We will be coming back. We have business in the city, but
Time frame
we
is
We've taken a
iffy at the
contract.
moment.
We've
Right.
taken a
I assumed
contract
you were
and we're not sure
mercenaries of
how
some
long it's
sort.
going to be.
You-
And unfortunately,
Turquoise
we
like
compass.
don't have a time frame for the end of the contract. We know that the job is soon, but
Understandable. I have dealt with this before. Normally, I keep the items for 3 months before they are resold,
I
unless
should hope
I
we'd
am
be
given a
finished
specific
before
time.
then.
If we're not
Yeah.
back before then keep our money.
Unless you give me a
Right.
specific time frame in which you will be back, 3 months is normally what I keep
Yeah,
it
if we're not
for.
back in that time, sell the items. We won't be back.
We won't be back ever.
It's normally what I do.
Yeah.
That's
We're dead or we're captured.
if that's
or
the
both.
case, dear, I'll take 200 gold up front to pay for materials and expenses. And when you get back here, you'll pay me another 200, and you'll have 400 gold pieces worth of enchanted ink for your every need.
Wonderful.
And I guarantee it'll be just as good as any of the larger producers.
Wonderful. Are you also able to produce focuses?
I think you might be muted, Mitch.
I held
Oh.
myself back because Mel was.
I saw the camera flash, and I'm like, oh, he's muted.
Focus. It would depend. Normally those are very personal items, but I could make a vessel from which you can then make a
I'm
focus.
looking for a crystal ball.
Crystal ball.
A valuable one.
Classic. Sesh is actually quite loud. Classic.
I might be able to make such an item. Are you?
I thought those were just for parlor tricks.
Depends on the crystal
Far from
ball.
it.
This
Far
is
from
going
it,
to
sir.
be one hell of a parlor trick, Isaac.
Crystal ball. I might be able to make such an item. Due to my inexperience specifically with that, I would only take a quarter of the final price of the item, just in case I am unable to make it. You're not out full, and I might be able to actually refund you your payment if I'm unable to produce to your satisfaction.
Okay, I'll give
Was there
you...
a specific value you were looking
I'm
to...
looking for one of 1,000 gold pieces.
250 gold pieces up front, and I'll see if I can manage it. I might have to call in a favor, but it might be done. It would
Thank
take
you.
some time, but it would be within the 3-month time span of the initial item, of your other items. Though I do have to warn you, I do have a somewhat capacity limit on what I'm able to do per day, so the more items you commission, the longer the overall orders will take. Just so you know, if you're planning on being away for a while, I should be able to work it, and I don't have many commissions right now.
My friend Master Rivallon, his order is more urgent, so work on mine last.
And also quite large, I'd assume.
Yeah. Okay. All right. She takes the 250 gold pieces.
I
you
give her
provide
250
her.
gold.
She writes down in a little book. Yes, you've been trying to ask a question for a while. What is it, sir?
Yes,
Me
I
first!
just have one. I have one question. You yourself are clearly a fine magic user. Do you know of anywhere in the city that has teleportation circles? We've been, as you know, we've been set on a task which will require some transit. I'm just
It's a
looking.
very rare around. Paramon's not as well connected as Alhut or various other capital cities around
Oh,
that
but
would
you might know of
contain
others
one.
who might have a personal use that could be.
Unfortunately, a personal use teleportation circle is a very secretive item, because if you know it, you're able to get to where it leads to, which is usually
Making a private
home.
teleportation circle known to a group of mercenaries
It's
tends to be a bad
usually
idea.
for someone's home. So
Yeah.
True.
I'm not too certain on if there's a government circle functionaries that might have access to them, but I would doubt it. I don't know of any.
Okay. Well, that's all I wanted to ask.
All right. Your order? Are you still looking for your arrows, or are you more interested in the braces?
Just everyone. Mog's gonna disappear off the thing. Small computer's just decided to blue screen on her.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
she's still here, but
I'm still here.
my cameras are about to
We
go
get it.
completely
We're cool.
weird. Right. Okay. Yes. That order. Okay. I would like to take.
Let's pick up the Book of Mog.
Yeah. I'll take the braces. 1,500 gold. I would also like to order 8 frost arrows, 8 fire arrows, and 8 lightning arrows.
Frost, fire, and light.
Interesting combo.
A good spread. Can be done.
Now,
Quite
as
a
I
large
understand
order.
it from our discussions, these would be able to be retrieved and reused, correct?
Yes, all of them would be innately enchanted, so they would be fine. And functionally indestructible.
Of course.
Just gotta write down.
Captain Rivallon, indestructible.
Right. She's writing it down in her book. Those grand total. Same price that we quoted, which was
200 per element.
200 per element, and then bulk order. We'll knock that back with 200 per, and you're doing 888. Simple math escapes me.
24.
Yep.
So it's 48 altogether,
24.
Roach, at 200 a pop.
And I don't know what.
Plus the 1,500 from the bracers, which would make it 55,300 gold.
Hold on, no. Don't do that.
He's
I'm trying to
he's
figure.
trying to do
I'm trying to figure out the
discount.
discount.
Discount first.
Yeah. So 8.
Well, yeah, because I'm just getting a discount on the arrows because I'm
24.
buying bulk.
Yeah, you're buying
times
a bulk.
200 there, so that's 4,800 gold pieces. With that kind of order, let's knock that down to 4,200 gold pieces. 400 gold piece discount.
Thank you very much.
Writes that down. You provide her with the money, so that's 4,200 gold pieces for the arrows, and then 1,500 gold pieces for the.
So is it half up front?
I got paid for
Yes.
1,500.
Got to pay for the 1,500 now, and then half of the
And
the
half
arrows.
of the
2,100.
4,400.
was
So
4,200.
3,600.
So 2,100.
altogether. 3,600 altogether now.
Right.
Yeah. You're paying 15 for the bracers and then 21 for the arrows.
Oh,
So-
so that would be 46. You'll have 1,600 left.
Right, cool.
All right.
And then once we get paid, I'll come back and give it the other half of the money.
All right. Is there any other commissions or anything else you would like made?
I'd like the braces.
She gave you the bracers,
Okay,
but
they're in my
I'll give
inventory
you the
now, but-
bracers. No, give me a second.
I would like you to add the bracers to my sheet, please.
Yes.
Would like the fucking bracers.
Right, you connect to
Yeah, I'll sort myself out.
Is it possible that you may be able to order in an enchant armor? Like maybe half plate?
I've done that quite a bit. Is there a specific enchantment you had in mind?
Just for the like +1 AC, or if I can afford it +2. Although I doubt I can afford +2.
So you're looking for. I put it in your inventory. I'm not sure where it went.
Got it.
Do you find? Okay. I'm missing it in there. I don't know where. Okay. So if you're looking for half plate, you said.
Yes.
Okay. So we're looking for +1 armor.
+3.
And I'm trying to look at the actual item. See, it's this thing. You're looking armor.
Just squeezing 1 extra AC.
Yep. Said half plate.
Yeah.
Half plate. That's is that heavy?
No, it's medium.
Medium. Okay.
Yeah, that will be my absolute limit, half plate. I can't go any heavier than that. So I'll have to rely on magical enchantments to increase my AC after that. Unless I
Maybe
want to
you would-
lose out my
you would
fast...
Like
also-
you need to.
Yeah. You would
Well,
also,
I would lose out on my fast movement.
You're also disadvantaged on stealth checks with that, by the way.
I already am with
Oh,
Scout.
okay.
I've already accepted that sacrifice.
Okay.
You
So
could
actually
pick up
+3
medium armor
option
master
for-
as your next feat.
That's true. Looking at a half plate, enchanting that,
I think so. So it's +1.
extra protection, +1.
1d8 +3.
You're looking at probably 2,000 gold pieces.
That's per round.
And what about the +2?
2
Plus
+3.
2
Plus 1 is mine.
plate.
Probably about
Okay.
5.
Her eyes glitter.
Right.
Money.
2 extra.
Plus
Yeah.
2.
For that
You're
extra.
looking at 6,500 gold pieces.
Plus
That's a lot of money.
Well, it'll put me to AC 24.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking AC, bro.
You'd have about 10 more AC than Isaac.
You have 9 more AC than Isaac, because Isaac has 15, right?
And
Yeah.
I mean,
Though I will say it is a
tell you guys-
time-consuming process that would
That's
take
not gonna-
about 2.5 weeks
No, that's the attack.
to
not
do
the
itself. So it would put your total orders back a bit.
Yes, but that's not gone up. My proficiency's 9 now.
what do you guys think? Is it worth? I'm already AC 20.
I mean, the armor you're
I mean,
wearing.
it's- it's your
Considering
goal.
you don't have to give up your armor in that time period.
Yeah, like you're literally
Why
ordering a new
wouldn't
set of
you?
armor. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can
The-
just
the
keep
only
the
thing
old
is,
stuff.
At the minute, I can only afford +1.
How much more do you need to afford +2?
A lot.
I've got 4,000 exact.
And
In
how much
gold.
more?
It needs another
It
2,000.
was 6,000. Yeah,
I'm willing to fund you 1,000 of that if we can get the other 1,000 out of the party chat. If we're really, really going for this.
like, do you guys want me to be that AC 24
I mean, that would be pretty insane.
for a Sentinel build? Yeah.
To be honest, if you can take some of the smashes that Mog would normally take, if Mog could afford to
I mean,
give
that's
you
his
the cash,
job.
she would.
How much is left in the party fund?
There's like 50. We put 1,500 in it, so we still have 500 left in it. And I'd still have 500 gold pieces left afterwards because I actually want to buy a sword. I actually want to buy
Could
an
you
actual
say-
sword.
Sorry,
Let me
everyone
just
in
look
my
at
chat.
that.
I've not been paying attention.
I mean, once I get
apologise.
the armor, I can sell on the scale mail and then put
That's
some of
+1
that
as well,
back
isn't it?
to people.
Clear bomb.
So that'd be worth
Bomb
something.
arrow. No, we
Oh,
can't.
yeah.
Maybe you
check.
could offer her the
Oh,
scale
yeah,
mail
yeah.
when you collect it and
As
get
a
some
trade-in,
money.
like we did with our old armor.
I could do that. So I could. This armor is already enchanted. +1.
I don't.
could I do trading?
I I don't normally take other people's work. I deal primarily with commissions, and I'm not one that deals in large bulk of items. I don't have a good trade with a lot of people. People commission me to enchant items, and I sell those items to them. I don't normally. It's not normally a service I provide. Fortunately.
Well, then I can still sell the armor sort of later on to
Yeah.
recoup some of the costs.
You could come back
Would-
later
would-
on and be like, walk into a blacksmith and be like, hey, here's a +1 set of really nice scale mail. How much?
You only have to pay half up front, don't you, as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 3
So
grand
you-
for a
you-
+2
you-
set.
You can cover the half right now, and we're gonna get more money from finishing the quest.
Also, even if we don't get an awful lot of money, we can still cover the cost anyway because we have enough in the party fund and on us that if it goes really badly and we don't get paid, we can still cover it anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We'll go with the higher price. We'll go with the more protection.
She's just like,
Roach
I'm so
now
glad I
hates us.
opened shop today.
Sorry, Roach.
Sorry, Roach, but
All right. So
don't tell us stuff.
plus 2 half plate. Plus 2 half plate is now written down. It's in her books.
Don't
So,
fucking
okay.
tempt me.
So that's 6,500. You owe me currently 3,250 gold pieces.
And I'll hand that over.
All
In a
right.
small chest.
Just boom.
Yeah, this woman just
Here you
got a boat and a gold out of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She can buy a new shop.
Yeah.
She's
I'm
like,
going to be
all right.
finally moving to the largest storefront across the street.
You don't know what
Warlock
you don't know what
spent the least.
her expenses are.
We don't know what her rent is like.
You don't know what her expenses are. How much it costs to make this shit.
It's sort of
Uh,
like jeweler craftsman that most of the cost is actually the materials and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right.
Unless
Is
they
there
break on
anything
a
else?
rock giant. They won't break on a rock giant.
Is there anything else any of you would like?
Or can I get you out of my shop before you completely kill me?
So what was on the shelf? Cast disguise, bracers,
There's
which
a hat
we
of-
bought in a half a
And
second.
some potions,
Oh,
health
yeah.
potions if anyone
They are
needs any health
on
potions.
already, and I'm going to love this.
So
Do
you're
they
assuming
match his
right
aesthetic
now,
though?
like,
But like, is this like one of those things where like, you know, you're playing an RPG and the armor style doesn't match, but it gives you better stats?
It is The Witcher,
I
yes.
it's just like he's like in this like ninja outfit, but with big fuzzy slippers on now. Just
Yep.
The potions, are they just sort of base normal health potions, or are they special, and how much are they? Because I am squishy.
I'm sorry, I've just thought of a Dungeons and Dragons film where they go into a shop and like you get the badass elf walk out afterwards, and it's like, so what do you think? And it's pink bunny slippers on the feet.
They're stealthy.
They make me more stealthy.
I have currently 2 potions of healing. Those are 50 gold pieces apiece. I have a single potion of greater healing as well,
Can I
which
have...
is 150.
May I have the 2 potions of healing, please?
All right.
And I promise
So-
myself not to spend any more money.
It's like, that's it.
Alright.
No more.
That's it. No more.
Lie in the sand.
Oh, I've got
I need the
4
rest
now.
of it for bucks and maids. Wait, what?
So I placed that into your inventory. Oh, you already
Oh,
had
no,
some.
they were already there. I put them.
Okay.
Mitch, I will pay you if you do your Southern New York potions of healing voice from the
oh my God.
penguins.
Oh, what like oh Christ!
How much are you paying him?
It's oh, that's really hard. Potions of healing is really hard to say. Potions of healing.
Potions of healing.
There you go.
Potions of healing.
Right. I think
You
that's
can
supposed
be
to
potions-
be
potions
full,
master.
Roach, 'cause I had
I don't know why, but I put a lisp on it today.
All right.
He's extra nerdy.
So, let's so you've all bought what you wanted, and
Commission.
given her commission list a big boost.
When
She's
I
like,
walk out the door, can I see if she's
money.
dancing?
I mean,
Can I
no,
see
she's
if
not
she's
dancing. She's getting to work.
He's pulling. She's like, damn, I was really enjoying that cheese too.
You see her pull out a stone ascending and just calling it all the favors. Just
It's like, listen,
Yeah.
listen to me, fucker. All right, these guys walked in. They spent thousands of gold on shit.
Everything, everything. They spent everything. So let's kind of gloss over some detailed things. So, Isaac, what did you wanted to go do just pick up some clothes, right?
yeah, I want
just
to
around-
get some like white robe.
That's easy. Spend
Yeah.
whatever the cost of like casual clothing or whatever is.
I think it's like a gold
piece.
for a nice robe or something.
Yeah, or something like that. So that's simple enough. Sesh, was there anything? Or you were just kind of tagging along?
Says she wants
Or-
to
gonna help me.
visit a blacksmith. Well, she wants to help Isaac first, but she's also going to visit a blacksmith and get like an actual, like, longsword commissioned. But she'd like the hilt to be in the shape of like a dragon's head.
Okay. Whatever the cost of a longsword is, plus 10 gold pieces.
So 18 gold pieces.
Yep. And that's due up front. And they'll have
Yep.
that ready whenever you get.
That's cool. I didn't expect them to have a dragon head longsword on hand. You know, that's not really normal.
So that's something. Is there anything Rivallon would like to do other than just kind of keep an eye on everybody at this point? Or is that,
Basically, just keep
was-
an eye on people because I've spent so much freaking money.
Yeah, you
All
guys
the
just got
money.
like a whole bunch. You're like half the people that got the stimulus check in the U.S. Just like, hey, money, there it goes.
Hey, look, money.
I've
It's gone.
still got to wait until after we've done the job to pay the rest of it off. But no, I am
Yeah.
super.
How much more
freaking
extra
happy
would you
right
need if we got back and didn't get paid?
now.
It's like
He
you
wouldn't
need
much.
you need
2100.
2100 gold pieces.
2100.
I need
I s-
2100,
I s-
and I am
I-
running at this moment.
Not a lot.
15, wasn't it? I think he said.
Inventory.
1600 gold pieces.
I've got say 2000.
Actually, you've
90?
got it, Rivallon.
Oh yeah, platinum pieces. Don't forget that.
You've got it because you got 49 platinum pieces, which gets you to 2090, and then you've got 8 silver pieces, 12 Illyrian pieces, and 129 copper pieces. So you'd actually just make it with copper pieces. You spend 100 copper pieces, all your platinum pieces, all your gold, and your silver.
So you're actually
have it.
good to go. So if
You're-
we
yeah,
don't
you
make
have
any
it
money
on
on this,
you
you're
right
good.
now without touching the Illyrium. With the Illyrium, you'd probably save some platinum, or you'd save some silver or something like that, because
Or a few gold pieces because those are useful.
Yeah. But you got that. So okay, Mog, you wanted to do some you wanted to go to like a local library or something, right?
I
And
wanted to go to the library, see if I could find out anything more about the attacks in Takova and the one at the Iberian border. And I
okay.
also-
Well,
Anything?
okay. Well,
And
just boy it out. Like, are you talking like you want context? Because things aren't instantaneous. It takes a
No,
while to write
I know.
books, so it happened within the month. If you're talking about like context about where things are, the Uteshian Abranan border is has been militarized for a long time. The Abranans don't like the Uteshians. The Brannans, like the Proto-Abranian state, were ones that had at one point control over the Uteshian steppes as a separate kingdom, but were fought off by a big uprising of the Uteshians a couple hundred years ago. Ever since then, they've had border forts along the whole border, and it's very well patrolled. So you weren't given like a lot of information. So from what you gather, it's probably one of those that was attacked and burned to the ground, but you're not sure which one it was. And as far as you know, with the Tarkovan, like the attack on the sky dock and specifically the ship, all you know is that it was a not immediate family member, but a part of the royal family of one of the successor kingdoms.
I think it was the king's granddaughter. I think you said.
it was a princess.
It was a
Yeah.
princess. Yeah.
Which
Uh,
successor kingdom?
Specifically, I'll just open up the map here so I can pronounce it correctly.
Can't pronounce my own names.
Which I'm not actually going to pronounce it correctly, but
it's like watching a Rule the Wave series you're doing.
Yeah, right.
It was the Athranian Empire, the deep blue one, right above the Kilan dynasty, right above that. And it's one of the larger ones. It actually is one of the two successor kingdoms that has as a colony off of Irol, in the continent to the west of Irol, across the Strait of Flowers. But it was princess, which, and as far as you know, all female descendants of the current monarch are called princess. So it was his granddaughter. What you can tell, probably the fifth in line of princess to the throne. But that's what you got. In terms of context, you can't like find any mention of like the ship specifically or anything like that. But with all of that, it's definitely, you could tell by doing some research that it would make sense. These targets make a lot of sense to cause problems on the continent, because Teutonia doesn't like tensions. Teutonia doesn't like the Gull Rivers. Gull Rivers don't like Teutonia because they both have border disputes over the western bank of the Gull River, and that's been kind of a sticking point. The successor kingdoms don't necessarily like the Central Plains nations, and that would definitely stop them from giving support to either. And Abaranan and Utesh hate each other, and that it wouldn't take a lot to spark off a fight, and that would tie down a lot of Utesh and Abaranan, which are both fairly in different ways military powers.
Okay. Off the top
no, you go ahead.
Off the top of Mog's head, given that she's, a well-read girl, that's literally all she knows.
All theory, no practice.
Can she think of sort of an area that hasn't already been attacked, that is already a powder keg, that just needs a fuse?
Just needs a strike on the match.
Everywhere.
Have you been to any of the places Rivallon's been to? He's not left them very well.
The Takova?
The Dwarven Freeholds and the Northern Silnal Kingdoms don't like each other. They're not. They have a small border, but the big problem is that the Sakesh Isles are very important economically. They have a lot of spices and exports of exotic materials and goods.
To Sakesh!
And currently, the Dwarven Freeholds and the Silnal Kingdoms are kind of in a trade war, or like a cold war, for control of those areas, for those isles for all the trade. And that's a big problem right now. Agalor and Rablor don't necessarily like each other, because Agalor used to control the Rablor plains. Kind of the derivative name came from. There's Osnia is kind of a big one. It's a very small successor kingdom that nobody really likes, but it stays because it has natural fortifications on its
It's in the middle of a river. That's why.
Yeah, it's in the middle of two connecting rivers, which stop it from being easily taken over.
That's where my previous character came from.
Yeah, the Kilan dynasty hasn't necessarily been touched, and that seems odd to you because it's the most powerful successor kingdom out of all of them, even if it's not the largest in landmass. Its capital city is the site of the former Elvish Empire's capital.
Is that just on the peninsula, right? The big dot.
Yeah, the big dot. That's where their current capital is, and that's where the former one was for the Elven Empire. And they have a lot of things that could happen. The Ethrinian Empire doesn't like them. They have border tensions with Sakesh. They're currently trying to colonize the continent to the west of Iral, which I've forgotten the name of. Leonor. But the local population of wood elves have killed every colonial attempt they've tried over the last 100 years.
them.
And
Yeah.
and it's there's a lot of tensions in various different places. It's kind of like a powder keg almost everywhere.
Okay.
In
There's a lot of
ways.
tension in this universe, if you believe it.
Clearly.
Needs a good massage, you know.
Last question. She's going to look through an address book for the King's Oaks property in Paramin.
Okay. That. Give me an investigation check.
Sure.
Then after this, we'll go on break.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good roll.
Okay. Doesn't take you too long. You're able to find some mentions and kind of locate where they're at. They're in the Grand Dock district. They have a property there. It's listed as like a residential. So yeah, we'll say that takes you most of the day in that library.
I'm doing a lot of reading
research
and thinking.
Yeah, a lot of research, a lot of stuff, a lot of theory crafting. But we will, I think, go on break because we're actually 7 minutes over the break time.
What?
Yeah.
It's okay, babe. I'll go
So
and get
we
you
will
more
be
caffeine.
right
Yeah, that's
back.
good.
We will be back in around 5 to 10 minutes. Go get yourselves refreshed, and we will see you soon. I'm hoping to animate that for a new starting screen, and also try and do matching. We're on break screen and end screen for this, so D&D has its own sort of theme.
This
but Roach,
absolute mad lad.
what do you think of it with the darkened map in the background and then the burning through of your map?
Oh,
That's
I
your,
have to.
That's your world of. That's your double.
That's your all,
map.
man. That's your world.
That's your role.
I have to.
It's a roll
The
that
pro.
burns up.
It's on Twitch, right? That's the thing. I
Yeah.
really don't. That's the thing. I
Yeah,
can't
it looks
watch your.
cool.
I can't watch your stream because it streams at source quality only, so I can't watch it.
Oh, sorry.
So.
Sorry,
well,
my stream is too good for your shit internet.
Well, the funny thing is, right, is that I have the option to change my quality with Mage's stream, but I don't with Rivals.
Which is odd. Because I've had people say they can't for me, and then some people say they can.
Maybe it's because I've been subscribed to you for so long. They're like, give this guy special privileges. You know,
It might be because you're a sub, honestly.
might be. Well, I'm not. Hey, excuse you, I'm a
Hello,
Switch.
Richard.
Hey.
Loving the new logo there, buddy.
Yeah, the logo looks great.
No, I was talking to
I will
Richard,
definitely-
my father.
Oh, right.
But no,
Well, I
the
like your
logo
logo
does look
too.
great.
The logo does look great. I'm not trying to.
I like
the
his logo too. His logo's cool. Your logo's cool
Oh,
too.
I can see the.
Bye.
I can see the effect now. Yeah, I can see it coming through. That's cool.
Yeah. I'll definitely send you all the different versions of the logos and stuff. Right, well, if you need those, I can send you those like right now.
Mauer. I need more
It's
sugar.
been a while since I made that map. Kind of thinking about making a newer one.
That's fair. It looks good on fire. It sounds like I'm being exceedingly mean, but
It sounds like you're talking about what this campaign's going to be in like a month.
Which I mean, we've already.
It's all right, Midge. Your sound sounds good until it doesn't.
I mean, my sound for everyone on stream and for you guys would sound fine. For just some reason,
You know,
I have-
unless the music's about 3 or 4 decibels too loud. Every video.
Hey, when was the last time I posted a YouTube video? Fucking 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. That doesn't matter.
What about if I go there? The music's just gonna be a tad too loud.
How many pounds? How many fake currencies?
All right, I'm back and good. Is everybody else
Guess
back?
who's back?
Back again.
Roach
Guess
is
who's
back.
back?
Haven't heard from
Who's
Atara.
back, friend?
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I'm here.
there he is. There he is.
That's that sultry voice of Juan Utarianzo.
In new, actually decent.
In new actual HD version.
Yeah.
Man, that motherboard makes some
now
difference.
we've just got to get a webcam working for him for us, and it'll be great.
Yep. That's the next thing on the list is buying a webcam.
And then I'm the only one off camera. Huzzah!
Yeah,
I mean,
I
that's
need to
where
get a
else should
decent
they?
webcam and maybe upgrade the mic. Maybe.
Maybe. We'll see.
I mean, it's doing okay for a cheap mic.
So,
Not like anyone's listening to the podcast anyway, yeah, Midge?
I'm bad.
I offered my help.
I will happily accept it if just DM me to remind me.
Just kick his door down and tell him to fucking end the
he'll happily
podcast
accept
already.
it if you tell him to accept it, because he can't
Yep.
remember.
Listen, Rival, how
have
much would it cost you to drive down to where Midge is right now? In diesel, like there and back.
There and back.
Yeah.
About 3/4 of tank, so say 60, 70 quid.
So if I gave
yeah,
you
yeah, no,
85
you'll get
pounds,
that,
right?
I thought.
You would drive down to Midge's house, slap him in the face, and tell him to edit the podcast already. Awesome. Good enough. I know now. I know you have a price tag. That's good to know.
How does it cost that much? And how much does
Because we
gas
get it in liters,
cost?
bitch. That's
We get
why.
liters, it's not gallons for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get. Right
It's also
now,
super cheap here right now. That's like super
down-
cheap compared to what it was.
Yeah,
like
no, I
6
don't
weeks
get it.
ago.
My, it's $1.50 a gallon here right
Yes.
now.
But you have
And
Nobody
that's-
gives a
your
shit.
own frigging
That's
land.
some of the. That's some
See,
of the highest
island,
available- that's some
island,
of the highest
giant
in the US
Texas.
now.
You know.
You have
I think the highest is just a shy
literally,
over
like,
$2.
all of Texas is oil fields for crying out loud.
Yeah.
You don't
No,
have
no, no.
to
There's
track it over.
no. There's a
seas and
lot of
things.
empty space with cows too.
On top of the oil fields.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
top of the oil field.
On top of the
Whereas-
soon-to-be
and
discovered
you've
oil
got
fields.
Alaska as well. You've got Alaska that's got oil in it as well. You know,
Yeah.
No.
with
It's also
us,
got a lot of nothing in it too.
And gold.
Yes.
Don't forget gold.
which is
It's also
on
got gold.
top of the frigging oil.
No. There's just a lot of nothing.
Whereas
nothing
we
but
have
land.
to actually bring the oil to our country.
Right. Roach.
And
Yes.
they charge us a massive amount of tax.
True.
Me and Sesh, hopefully, are going to be searching for some, like, locations as to where we might find a teleportation circle in town, if possible.
My first thing is I'm going to cast Sending and ask Demir about what's going on in Utesh right now, because he is the clan leader, and it's been time. So let's let him know we're still alive.
Let's speak the brother.
It's been.
Yeah,
like-
I'll
why
actually
don't-
I'll tell Ustinia, hey, I'm going to talk to your brother. Do you want
Why
to
don't
say
I
anything
give
to him?
him? Why
Oh,
don't I
yeah.
give Ustinia the Stone Ascending, so he can?
Excellent
ask?
idea. Let's do that.
Yes.
There we are.
You talk to your brother here.
Okay.
Don't mention bowling. We need to be concise here.
How many words do I get in Uteshian again?
20 half.
Oh,
so
in Utesh,
13.
it was 15. No, it was 15.
Use
15.
common. Use common. Use common.
Say
Yeah,
rival.
I'll-
Say rival. Rivallon says hi.
So common. How many words?
25.
25. Okay. Hello, brother,
It's your brother.
chief. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's go. Hello, Chief Demir. It's your brother. Justinia. It's a 7. I hope all is well with the clan. That's 7. Oh, I've lost count. 7
That's
plus 7.
13.
13.
Yeah.
With the clan. Where are we again?
Paramin.
Paramin. We are in 13, 14, 15. Paramin on a job. So that's 20. Say hi to mother.
You got 2 more.
For me. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of if I could squeeze something in with just the 2 words, but nah, I'll just use it up.
I was expecting
You
you to say.
you need German for that. Just put all this. Just put it like
Yeah,
like a sentence.
compact
Yeah.
words.
Com-
Loads of
yeah.
compact words.
each word actually means 5.
Hello, Stenia. It's good to hear from you. Things are going well here. Little bit of trouble north of us, but we're not a part of it. Mother's doing fine. Hope you're okay. Hope to see you again soon. It's close enough.
It's smart. He knows how this works.
So, there apparently is a little bit of trouble at the northern border, but the clan is nowhere near there. My mother is doing okay, the clan's doing okay. Seems to be good news. He was glad to hear from us and hopes to see us soon.
Excellent.
You have a brother.
He does.
Yes, he is the chief of the Opaking clan. Like our father before him.
That's
It's a whole thing. He'll tell you the whole story when he's drinking some ale. It's very
Who doesn't need to
impressive.
be drunk to tell you about that story?
Yeah,
The whole
No, it
4
was
months
one
of
hell of a
real-time
fight.
tale.
it does.
The
It does
whole-
add a little bit of like pizzazz when he's got a few ales in him, though.
the whole 4 months of actual, real, in-person time it took us to go through 2 weeks. So
Yes. Yep.
Brothers are good.
Hey, that story was in depth, hardcore, and awesome. Okay,
Yeah, we got
it
into
was
like
worth it.
what 3 fights. It was brilliant.
And we went on a peyote journey.
Yeah, we did.
And we killed a dragon.
Yeah. It's a great
Yep.
couple of weeks.
And you were
I
in a
love
coma
hearing
for
just,
a while.
I love
Yeah.
hearing
I said,
Mog's
peyote
whimper
journey.
of disappointment whenever we mention the dragon killing.
It's not Mugs, it's Reds. She's
It's
still
totally
sad.
red.
It's red.
Reds.
Just, no, please don't mention
Red's
Duke.
mention of Toothless, yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's say.
Oh my god, we
for-
should have started calling the officer that was with us Hiccup because we killed her Toothless.
Trust me, that dragon was not toothless.
No.
Well, you see, I know where you're going there, but yes.
So let's. You've got 2 days in the city, and we've already Mog. You've already gone through your whole day, essentially 1 day.
Yeah, I have.
In the library. Let's do this. So for those 2 days, Isaac wants to try and find a teleportation circle somewhere in the city to be able to use.
Yes.
And
so
we
I'm gonna
will.
need you to make an
left a note.
investigation check at disadvantage.
We did leave a note for Gordon, if that's any help, to ask him, hey, is there a teleportation circle that we can use if we
You
need to exfil
did.
quickly?
So investigation check with disadvantage.
Okay,
So
hold up.
we did them.
I'm doing it.
Hold up, pause.
This is
hold that
even if you
trigger.
help him. It's not good.
Oh,
It's-
all right, if
he
I
has- he
just-
has- you've got
I
no
will-
ties
I
in
will-
the city.
I will cast
you-
guidance on him though, so
God,
add a
that's
d4.
well.
I'll add a d4. I'll cast
Add a
guidance. on you.
d4. It's
16.
okay, maybe
It could be a 17.
you could possibly
14.
no. You were within range of being able to pass ADC, but
F.
yeah, 14. You spend 2 days going around trying to find some mention of a teleportation circle, even going as far as to talk with some guards about a possibility of maybe a government agency or something of the council having some access to a teleportation circle.
Did I have a
as a-
tinfoil hat on at this point?
As the mage currently in the city, it would be good for you to maybe have access to that. In the future, you're willing to pay for it. It doesn't go very far. Nobody knows you as a person. They don't know you. They don't know the Turquoise Company that well. You don't have any standing or clout with people.
All that for a single drop of clout.
You get close, you think you hear mention that there is a mage that lives in the city and it's been here for a while, and that sounds like that could be your man. Problem is that that's as far as you get, and you never find where they actually live. And your 2 days in the city are spent just trying to find some mention. It kind of just leads you nowhere. It's very difficult and it's very rare. And you don't have a lot of time to spend on it, unfortunately. Sesh, because you gave him guidance on that was your 2 days as well.
Sure.
You spent around there.
She's trying to like.
Session
She's
done
trying
the
to. She's trying to help.
investigation then instead.
Well, actually, I don't have proficiency, so I'd actually be pretty bad at that.
Oh, really?
Okay, so Mog is going to ask her sneaky friend
Isn't it
and
wisdom?
her.
No, it's
Smashing
intelligence
friend.
based.
Would you two accompany me to the King's Oak's house? I just want to have a look at it.
Sure. Smashy friend?
Smashy friend?
Big X friend.
Justinia?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what?
Oh, I was drinking.
Would you
No, I didn't
accompany me?
realize you were speaking to me.
You're the Smashy friend!
Yeah,
Justinia, smash!
You're the big. You're the big
Okay.
axe friend.
they have name. Please don't forget it.
Master Ustinian, Master Rivallon, would you accompany me to the King's Oak's house? I just want to have a look at it. I'm not going to cause any trouble. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're
I don't
bringing
trust
the
that you're not
muscle
gonna cause trouble.
to a
Yeah, fair enough.
non-trouble causing situation.
Yes, you take the two troublemakers to the non-trouble situation.
I don't know. I don't know. Isaac's caused a lot of trouble as well.
Yeah.
To be fair, Isaac's also the only one that's caused trouble to have it blow up in his face, like
Multiple
more than
times.
other people. The last time you really caused trouble, you also got shivved 20 times. As a direct result. Rushing in,
and
trying
you wouldn't
to
even
go
let the elf get involved.
So mini chaos crew goes in. You go to the
Chaos
location
crew.
that's from Critical Role. Yeah, that's Bo, it's Bo, Jester, and Not.
Yeah,
Chaos
that makes sense.
Shit, just let's go. They get tattoos later on in the series. I think, don't they? Isn't that they came up? Well, no, they came up with the design. I think because it's just like two C's like interlinked or something like that, which is kind of funny. Well, Chaos Crew itself is a spoiler because they don't come up with that name until well after where you're at in the series right now. If you just got to the point where they got rid of Curie.
There was no getting rid
To
of
get
Billy.
rid
There was
of.
an emotional goodbye that made me cry. Shush.
They yeeted her out the door.
They've only
go.
referenced her a few times afterwards. Let's be honest here. Yeah.
But get
So-
rid of me. It just sounds like they murdered her and put her in a dumpster. Like
I mean,
Who
maybe.
knows?
she's a child.
They didn't vet those people.
Anyway, we're going to the thing.
So you go to the
Okay.
Grand Docks district and go to the area that was referenced in your research. A large area, a large. Did one of your the things come out of your chair?
I found a screw on the floor and I don't know where it's come from. It's
Oh.
a
Loose
very
part of
large screw, so I don't know what it's from.
It's
It's like something broke.
It's probably from one of your chair's arms, because those come loose pretty quickly.
Yes, I do.
Or maybe like your desk or something.
Or from like the attachment point of the chair onto the raising lower
Yeah.
thing. But
I'll have a look
you
around.
find a large compound that has a high, and by high I mean about a 9-foot stone wall with iron like spikes along the edge of it. Decorative, but definitely would stop people from hopping it. It looks to be probably a 3-story tall building with 2 wings on a central like main structure. It takes up quite a bit of space in the city, and from what you can see from the outside, it is actively patrolled by guards. Not city guards, but like personal
They've got
guards.
private security.
Yep. See maybe 2 on the roof that kind of just sitting in chairs, just kind of keeping an
Bored?
eye on things. Yeah, a little bored. They've got big crossbows like leaning against the chairs, or one of them's got it in his lap. There's a few on the outside of the actual main entranceway. You can't see inside of the compound area to see if there's like people patrolling the actual grounds.
Okay, she's going to turn her eyes on. Is there any sort of magical barriers as well?
She's going to turn herself on. Do you all hear that?
Yep.
So, you don't see any magical things popping out at you. You have a limited range on the magical site.
I do.
From where you're at, you don't necessarily see much. Nothing pops out at you as like a general effect, or like entering here gets rid of spell or blocks thing. None of that.
Okay. She sighs, turns to her companions. Okay, let's go. We're not going to get in there, are we?
Challenge accepted.
Something tells
Help me
me
out here.
we're here for a job. Something tells me they know we're coming.
Would anyone like to be deep striked in by giant eagle? I can do that.
Rivallon's just like, yes!
The codex
Multiple-
calls this
Multiple simultaneous deep strike.
The Codex Extartes does not support this action.
It was
seven
cool.
pain.
Well, good
Calls
thing I
this
can't
strategy
read.
Steel Rain.
Well, good thing I can't fucking read.
Space Marines.
I don't know why, but all I imagine is just Ustinia saying, like, the Codex Extartes does not support this action, and then Rivallon going, good thing I can't fucking read, and then doing it.
Codex Extartes does not support this action. Shut the fuck up, Leandros.
Fuck Leandros. So, seriously, fuck him.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Play Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine, you pleb.
Yeah,
Do it now.
It's like less than $10.
It's
super
like, yeah,
cheap.
it's dirt cheap, and it's also really good. So, fuck you.
Is it
probably
on
the best.
Steam?
Yes.
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 I'll think about it.
My God,
Yeah.
it's so memeable. You should play it.
It's so
It's
good.
so
Oh,
memorable.
I would love to see Rival play that. It's a third
Oh, that'd be
person,
great. That'd be
it's
so
a
good.
third person slasher shooter game, but it's all
Oh, yeah.
Warhammer based, and it's
And the
such-
story
such-
is just blow shit up, kill things, have
There's
a good
not an
time.
objective in the game that has all the objectives in the game have probably less than 4 words in them.
Yep.
Like the
Kill this thing. Blow this thing up.
Just I think there's specifically a thing where it opens up in like not a quasi cutscene. It just goes like, we have to destroy the gun, and then right above the screen it's just like objective at destroy the gun.
It's basically like the Doom Eternal one where it's just like you can't just shoot a hole in Mars. New objective: shoot a hole in Mars.
Is
Yeah.
the objective just fuck shit up?
Yes.
Yes.
Kind of. You're the Space Marines.
It's-
So,
that's your
it's a
that's your
fun
job.
Warhammer
It's
Space
just a
Marine.
fun hack and slash. Yeah.
Yeah,
Warhammer
Warhammer
40,000
Space
Space
Marine. Yeah.
Get mods, and you can customize how the Space Marine looks.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the story no longer makes sense with all the added voice lines and stuff
Yeah.
that come up. It's like,
But hey,
I think if-
I am pinned
here.
yeah, but keep that. I would
Steam
love to
is
watch
still
you
updating. Why is it updating over here on my main screen?
because that's something I'm thinking about doing for a
Stop
series. 'cause it's,
opening on my main screen. You bitch!
it's only about 8 hours, so it's.
It is
gonna
the
be a series.
Bane Blade.
It is the warp spiders. It is the warp spider.
Right, anyway.
We're referencing a
Anyway,
meme video.
we've
We're
finished-
referencing.
that's great.
We've
You know-
finished our 2
Why are
days,
you still on there?
yeah.
It's really great when you go, oh, I'll just look for this game. Oh, look, it's asking for my date of birth to prove that I am actually old enough to play it.
To be
Yes,
fair,
this is the
with
game
some of
you
the
want to
animations in that game, I would.
Oh, yeah.
limit-
There are some gory kills.
I
in
think
that
there's
game.
one where you specifically take somebody's arm and beat them to death with it.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
Yes!
There's also one where you
Very
take a
memorable.
guy's shield and use it to smash
And
his
beat him to
head.
death with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anyone play the AVP game, the Alien vs
No.
Predator?
Yes.
It had a 3-way multiplayer where you could beat humans,
Yes.
aliens, or predators. And if you were on the humans team, you just died.
No. I remember it being the most atmospheric shit in the world because I was playing that with like a full lobby of friends, and I was with 2 other Marines, and we were in a dark room, and like one just got like hit, and he was like, "What the fuck was that?" And we just like bring up
So,
the thing,
they-
and everybody just freaked out
Yeah,
because
yeah.
one of them was on the ceiling, and so it was like
Yeah.
out of the movie. We were just like in the middle. We get hit. What the
They
fuck is
had
that
some.
thing? He's in the fucking room, and then we just start shooting and dying and stuff.
But anyway, that game had the goriest takedown kills I have
Oh,
ever
yeah.
seen. Like, one of the ones for the Predator, when he killed a human, was they
Take his head off.
legitimately took the head off and used the spine and then hit the body. Like, it's like, essentially you pull the guy's head out, take the spine out with it, and then hit the body with it. Like,
And
just-
if you're a human, while that's happening to you, your perspective stays with the head, not with the body.
Yes.
So it
You're
turns it around, and you see the body fall without its head.
or like the xenomorphs obviously they can just do the whole and like
Yeah, through that,
essentially
or the
cave
tail through the chest, and you like look
Yeah,
down.
sometimes
at it,
if it's a behind
and then come
takedown,
back.
yeah, you just go
Yeah.
and you're in the air and you look down and there is a tail through your stomach. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck.
Atari, next time Roach says, how do you want to do this? That.
I did believe, and I shove it through his spine.
So,
No, you want to do the whole. You know how normally when you strike down with all your power? I want to do a golf swing instead and go up into the crotch and keep going. There's the wins. There's the wins.
There's the pain.
we're doing a Brienne of Tarth takedown. Is that what it is?
It's got a name too.
So,
The Brienne of Tarth.
yeah, cool. Yeah, there's yeah, or season 3, I think.
Anyway, our 2 days in town.
So I'm assuming it was a joke. You're not actually going to try and breach the perimeter or or get into the house or anything like that. Was that a joke, or are you?
Well,
actually
not
trying?
That was a
Now.
joke, as far as I'm
Oh,
aware.
okay.
Not now. Maybe when we get home.
All right, not now. So yes, 2 days go by. You go through, do everything. You get what you need to get done. Your items have not yet arrived. Your mounts and the mercenaries have not yet arrived. But you go to where you were told to go, or at least informed to go, in the morning, early. You get an early breakfast, gather all your items that you do have, and go to the Grand Docks. Go to the Pier 3, and there, in the early morning light, and it's weird, Pier 3 is it's a section of piers that most of them are for very like personal conveyances or very well-to-do companies, etc. But this little section of the Grand Docks looks to be not necessarily for that, but for businesses that make a lot of money, but not necessarily where the ships are worth a lot. So you see 2 big whaling ships at anchor. One of them is on the pier that you're going towards. The other one's off to the side. And as you're walking towards Pier 3, an individual steps out of the shadow in front of you from one of the side alleyways. They are wearing the nondescript gray and earth tone uniform with a half smooth mask covering the lower part of their face. You hear a emotionless, accentless voice come from behind the mask. Hello. Your
Monet?
mission currently is to board the ship on Pier 3. The Sea Bear is the ship that originally located this potential outpost of this foreign organization. Your cover is that you have been hired as guards for this ship. The crew and the captain all believe this and will not question your presence. When you arrive at the Fireward Isles, they've been informed to bring you near, but not at, the island that this group is expected to be at. You are to infiltrate, gather intelligence, dispositions, numbers, what their plans are if possible, and get off the island without being overtly discovered or your connection to us being discovered. An operative has been embedded on the crew. They will monitor you and report back. Do not believe you can shirk any responsibility. Once you arrive back to the city, you'll be paid after your debrief. Are there any other questions?
What about the information on my brother?
That will be given to you after you return.
Rules of engagement.
However you wish, but keep Perriman out of it.
If we need to get back faster than by the sea, do you have a way that we could do that?
No. The journey should take linearly a week, but the ship will be going about its normal business until it gets near the Isles. So you can expect to be on board for close to 2. It will drop you off, take 8 hours to come back and pick you up. If you're not there, you'll expect it to be dead, and it'll leave you.
There will be a company of mercenaries from the Reynolds Company coming in with some of our equipment.
Things
In
will
the
be taken care of, and your items and mounts will be stabled until
Thank
you
you.
arrive.
So we only have 8 hours when we're on the island.
It's not long.
That is correct.
Rival,
How do we
how
contact
Rivallon,
the
how
operative?
quickly do you think you could scout an island? So,
Rivallon?
how
Okay.
fast do you think you could scout an island?
Well,
Depends
we're
on the
going
side
to
of
be
the
taken
island.
near to where they were last seen. Do you have any maps of the island?
No. It's small, not too large, maybe a mile and a half wide at its widest point.
I
Somewhat
think we should-
long, maybe double that in length.
We'd have to be
Covered in
quick,
deep.
and assuming that the base is in the middle of the island, which maybe...
Information that we have is that the island was settled by a group wishing to not be affiliated with any government. A small fishing village was set up two decades ago. Recently, a lighthouse had been erected nearby. Our current intelligence states that the settlement would not have the funds or population to construct such a structure, and would have no reason to do so. This crew also encountered a group of young elves speaking in various different languages, but nothing too well, and traded their incidental catch of fish for coin that was of the foreign minting that you are familiar with. We suspect that the settlement has been taken over by a garrison of these individuals and are unsure as to the current population's whereabouts or status.
Okay, so there's 2 main things we want to investigate: the fishing village and the lighthouse. Would be input during the day or at night?
Whenever you arrive, though, do be aware it seems a low fog has settled into the entire area and is quite stubborn. We're not sure if that is a mage's
Well-
doing on the island or not.
I would suggest it would be.
The ship's crew, while we're investigating the island, are they to be making trade with the villagers to...
They'll be going about their way and doing a loop, coming back 8 hours later.
not staying? So we can't use that as a cover. Okay, cool.
You'll be inserted on the opposite side of the island from the settlement, though I have been told that locals from other accompanying islands have been warded off by individuals patrolling the shores. So you'll have to insert and get past the patrols on your own.
And on the return journey, the fishing trawler will pick us up at the same place?
Yes, near enough. It's not going to be
Okay,
exact.
so we will have to travel 3 miles one way and 3 miles back before we actually... Okay. Terrain?
So roughly an hour each way. Isn't it? Then
What's the terrain like?
Densely forested. Not
hours then
temperate.
each way.
It's quite warm down there. I believe it rains almost every day.
Make that an hour and a half.
maybe 2.
It'll
We
be
do
faster
have
coming
luck.
back than it will be getting there. We can follow the
If
same
we-
path back.
If there is an impossibility of being picked up in the allotted amount of time, you may adjust the plan with the captain, but they have a hard return date, so they can push themselves quicker back if need be. So you might be able to squeeze a day on the island.
Okay, fair enough.
But this has to be quick. The longer you're on the island, the more time you have to be found out.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend no more than 12 hours on the island, as that would forgo the need to set up an actual encampment. If you stay a whole day, it's a trade-off. Up to you. But remember, you have to actually return with some useful information to get the actual second half of your payment.
Yeah.
By the way, assuming you haven't sent anyone to Al Hut yet, or if you have, please inform them that senior guardsman Veronica Hollarn is willing to help. She's my old squad leader. She has a few contacts higher up the ladder. Might be able to get you deeper inside, maybe faster. I don't know. She can vouch for you.
We'll have no trouble getting past the bureaucracy of your...
If you need
overseer.
someone you need to trust, you can trust her.
I don't think these
They
people
don't
trust
particularly
anyone.
give a damn about trusting people.
Well, consider that my, shall we say, God, what's the word? Endorsement.
And they don't trust
Appreciate
us,
it.
so it means nothing.
As little as that means. Yes. You don't need to point out the obvious to me. I'm just trying to be helpful.
Okay.
Thank you. Is there any other questions?
How do we contact you if there's something urgent with regards to Paramin that it will take 2 weeks, quicker than 2 weeks in?
Our
To get home.
operative on the ship will be able to contact you after you finish your mission,
Oh,
in
cool.
case there's something unable to be held for that long.
What's the name
Though
of the
you-
contact?
Classified. They'll
Uh-huh.
seek you out if need be.
You don't need to know.
Got it.
I suggest you get to your ship.
Have a good day.
Yay!
Walks back into the alley and then starts going down.
Yeah. Just. Rivallon stands there and goes, "That's what that's like."
Yep.
In front of you, you see a large whaler. It's long, wide, squat in the water. Multiple masts, but with enough deck space that they could probably get a small whale, or they could get a good portion of it up onto the deck to start their business. You see a moderately sized crew. Smells of whale oil and like burned blubber.
Ugh.
Blackened on the top half, and even the sails in the back section are soot stained. And it has
Water's gonna be
in
so
common
Everybody on this ship has like lost their sense of smell.
on the written in common on the bow, you see sea bear,
Right?
and the gangplank is down, and you can see the last of the crew are onboarding. Looks to be like barrels of water and some supplies. And
Permission to come aboard. We are your guard contingent.
A middle-aged elf with like a parchment paper looks up. Oh, you're the ones. Good. Didn't know you'd be showing up. Company hired you on for some reason. First mate, Brigoff Wyatt, or Brigoff Watt. It's 2 T's, W-A-T-T. You'll meet the captain whenever you need to. Flat Eye is going to be taking us out in the next 20 minutes or so. You'll have cabins on this second deck. You'll have to split the two, but there should be enough room.
Okay.
Sash, you and me?
Yep.
All right, get on there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry, what was the captain's name?
The captain, you're told, is Thyman Flat-Eye. So Thyman, that's Tango Hotel. No, Tango Hotel, India. Mike Echo, November. Flat-Eye is Foxtrot Lima Alpha Tango Echo Yankee Echo Sierra. Flat Eyes.
And the first mate was Brian White.
Brigoff
Brigoff
White. Brigoff
White.
I got bring
What?
What?
Frigoff.
What?
Frigoff White.
What? Yes.
What?
And when you go on, you do see the first mate, middle-aged elf, captain is a older human gentleman with just no beard or anything like that, almost no hair on his head at all, but just wrinkled to shit and very
Weathered.
much has weathered faces, like not red, like not sunburned or anything like that, but definitely tanned, like to the bone. Feels like this guy.
This man wouldn't turn white in the Arctic, is what you're saying.
Yeah, this guy's been out for a long time, and also nobody's wearing fancy uniforms. Not even any of the crew. Like they're like some people have a uniform and they got like coveralls made of like cow leather kind of stuff, or what looks to be cow leather but might actually be something of a whale byproduct that they're wearing. They've got some gloves. There's gnarled cutting implements in like 3 or 4 different stations along the edge of the deck for their work. But about 20 minutes after you get on board and find your bunks, which is there's the second deck above deck, so it's got like a little step on the back that's somewhat high for the ship. It's kind of the only tall bit of it. You go in there. There's 2 rooms across from each other in a small hallway. They don't have any beds in them. They're just hammocks.
Cool. With
Just
that.
hammocks, and it doesn't look like this was actually initially meant to be sleeping quarters, because there's still things being stored in both rooms that take up about half of the actual space of the room. There's a whole bunch of crates and barrels there, and when you look into them, they look like some of the crates have got some foodstuffs like hardtack and ship biscuits here and there. There's a big vat of a barrel with a big vat of lemon juice in it.
Tasty.
Scurvy.
Yeah, Scotland dog. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's also like 3 or 4 with just fresh water in it that have been corked up and are sealed. Like excess. They probably shifted this to other crew quarters to make room for you. It doesn't look like they normally have a guard contingent. But 20 minutes later, the captain casts off, or the ship casts off and begins its journey out of the Grand Docks, past the breakwater and into the open sea. It is a very, how do you put this? It is it's not actually that hot in the morning. It's very humid, very, very humid.
Very sticky.
Yeah, there's a cool breeze coming out of the south that helps a little bit, but it's sticky and it's just slow going. The ship is not quick. As the sails are unfurled and it finally starts picking up speed, you are in the open ocean of the Abyss, or as it's also known, Yaren's Abyss, the Southern Sea.
Dum dum dum.
As you head towards the Fireword Isles. Though it doesn't look like the crew actually know that, because they begin work almost immediately during the day. They're on the lookout for any signs of whales, any breaching or anything like that, trying to find and hunt these creatures. The first mate does come down after about an hour, and gives you all assignments. There's no deference either. You are employees on the boat.
Yep.
And he's giving you assignments, and he's the boss. So,
what does he want the giant dragonborn to do?
Well, Rivallon and Isaac are both assigned to deck patrol. So, you're on the main deck, and you're just keeping an eye on things. You're watching for any signs of masts on the horizon.
Yes, Isaac.
Isaac.
Isaac and Rivallon.
You remember?
He doesn't know
thinking
I'm the
out
least
many
perspective
sights?
in the
He's
entire
literally doing
team.
this.
Yeah.
He literally doesn't know
Isaac,
that
what are you
Usinia
doing?
can see for miles.
I'm
Literally
guessing-
doesn't know that.
Oh,
I'm guessing
guy-
nothing's coming.
In the time before the this guy came and gave us our jobs, I said to everyone, our cover for why we were hired is there's been an uptick in pirate activity as pirates have been coming around from the seas around the Dwarven Freeholds more this way.
Yeah,
That's
almost like there's almost like an old ship from legend has been risen out of the waves.
Hey,
Yes,
how
we're
you
gonna eat-
doing?
That's
Oh.
kind of what I was hinting at. You
You know what? We're
Well,
totally gonna meet her
yeah, we're
again
gonna-
in like 4 levels time, and she's gonna be like, "Oh, it's you people. Cool. How you doing?"
Not too bad. Fire an arrow.
We left on okay terms with her. It's fine.
Yeah. She'll be like, "Oh, you people are okay."
And I'll fire an arrow.
But Rivallon and Isaac are assigned to deck patrol, so they just patrol the deck, making sure nobody's coming out at the horizon. Ustenia, you're assigned to guard the captain.
Hey, bodyguard job. Would you believe it? He's back.
But the
at
thing
it.
is, the
all this way through all these adventures, and what's he end up as? Exactly what he started as.
bodyguard.
guard.
Exactly how
The thing is, the captain doesn't want you in his room, so you're assigned to guard the door to his.
You're going to be so bored.
cabin. There is a stool and a half barrel outside with a lantern on it next to the door, and that is your station.
I'm a guard.
Yeah.
Guard.
That's a lot
You're
of
just sitting in
action.
front of the door, leaning against it, and you've got like a small table next to you. As you
He
just,
has cleave out and he's
wait.
sharpening it. Just
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
So
I'm
that's-
okay with this. This is something I'm very used to.
And then Session Mog, you're assigned to deck patrol on the night shift.
all right. Cool.
Fine.
So he tells you, get some sleep because you're going to be up tomorrow. Or you're going to be up tonight.
I will also inform him. I'm a trained medic. Anyone needs any help?
All right.
And I'll tell the guys, if there's not enough hammocks in your room, we can hot bunk because we're clearly on different shifts.
We're on alternating patrols here.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's very true.
Just want to
So-
give Red Moogle a high five there for using the correct terminology.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hot bunking. Yeah.
Now, golf clap is done.
It's done. I'm actually kind of pissed that not pissed, but I'm kind of disappointed in Aurora 4X that game with that much detail. You don't have the option of putting your crew on hot bunking to decrease the tonnage of your crew quarters.
So, like, you have half the actual bunks, but you have the
Hot bunking.
same amount of crew
So
because
so it makes deployment times less than what they're supposed
yeah.
to be.
Speaking of Aurora, yes, favourable tea terms will be accepted by the Mughal Empire for Great Britain. Okay.
Favorable tea terms. All right then, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, we'll see how long they
Of
last.
course, Midge wanted tea.
Well, that's what he put in his response.
And see, we want tea, but we don't want to give you any because we're British. But also, we
but
want
yeah.
the tea.
What you see as you go through the day, because it's starting in the morning, and you got a whole day. After about 2 hours on deck, you're bored. There's nothing going on. You find pretty quickly there are a lot of chairs or at least things that can be used as chairs here and there, stools, things like that. And although in the first hour you were actually patrolling, like up and down and checking every corner and every angle, a couple hours later, you're against one of the masts, just sitting on a stool or leaning against something. You're just there to guard. Other people are doing work, scrubbing things, cleaning the deck. You got some people going out in a longboat ahead of the ship and doing some work out there. You got even a couple of crew members who don't have anything else to do, are just fishing off the side of the boat, like with just a pole, and they're just trying to get some extra food, like fresh food. Ustenia, the captain hasn't come out of his bed or his bedchamber, his cabin, since the ship set off, and yeah, you're pretty sure you hear snoring.
Right.
Seems
See,
like
he's
he's just sleeping, and you think back to it, he had a lot of red around his eyes in the morning, and he wasn't. You thought it was just because he spent so much time on the sea that he was just kind of having trouble like staying like straight. Probably a pretty bad hangover, or not even a hangover yet when you saw him. It's probably
He was
probably
still
sleeping
drunk
off-
when you saw him last.
Yeah, probably sleeping off a good shore leave. A really good shore leave at this point. Section Mog, you had a good night's sleep beforehand, so if you can get some sleep, it's kind of fleeting. Just a lot of...
Mog's
Session's
lot of
done
this.
guard duty before. So could I roll something to try and get her in the, like, you know, she's trying to get back into the mentality of like, I'm not tired, but I need to sleep. So
Yeah, I don't even think you need to roll for that. You're just trying, you know, like even then you like drift off for an hour, come back, like drift off an hour for again and come back. It's not like if you're not tired, it's hard to get to sleep.
yeah.
As
Sesh
opposed-
will like
never
get up
served
and do
in the military.
push-ups. Like Sesh should actually start doing push-ups to get some energy going.
Well, no, in the military, you're always tired. It's just your body doesn't know it yet. And then when you get to the point, then you just go like, oh,
Everything
yeah.
just dies.
It's just like, I got a chance.
Gone.
Straight down.
Mog's
Yeah,
It-
Sesh
it's
will
an
start doing like
acquired
push-ups
skill.
and stuff.
It's
Yeah.
acquired. Yeah, no, that I've heard that. It's acquired. Once you're in the military, you get the acquired skill to be able to sleep on command.
Sleep on command
Sesh will do
on
push-ups and stuff.
anything.
On anything.
yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
On anything.
Yep.
On anything
Oh,
in anywhere.
I didn't need to acquire that skill. I fell asleep at a rock concert, so like I'm good.
Minorly impressive.
I think
Okay.
I've seen a picture of a guy who was a tanker who was in World War II. There's a picture of him, and he fell asleep in a cupola of a Sherman. But the thing is, he didn't fall forward sleeping against that. He went the opposite way. So he was sleeping, sound asleep, but like that, like spread eagle back, like, or not spread eagle, but like because you know your general, like, yeah, just like this against the cupola, and asleep, just fully
He's gone.
asleep.
He gone.
Yeah, just like his back gone.
Oh, God, yeah. But yeah, Sesh is gonna like do some exercise to try and get herself into like a slightly more
Alright.
sleepy mood.
Mog
You
is
don't-
not having that and is reading her book in her hammock.
All right. That's kind of difficult as well because you notice about midway through like a couple of pages, you've got one porthole in this room, and that's the only light available. You look around,
Light.
they didn't provide you with a lantern or anything for the room.
I pull out like a copper piece and just cast a light on it and give it to her as like a nightlight.
Just place it on like a pole, on like a peg on like a support beam or something like that.
Yeah. Or just like put a nail through it. It's a copper piece. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. But yeah, the first day goes about like that. You're not really people aren't really talking to you. They're not really getting to know you or anything. But you do. I mean, you listen. Like especially people on deck patrol. You listen. It's these guys know each other and they're sailors. And so there's dirty jokes going back and forth between people. There's
What are you trying to say
grumbling.
about sailors?
The truth.
That? Yeah, the truth.
Exhibit A.
The truth.
What are you trying to say about sailors?
The truth. You see,
I'm
to
just
be
gonna sit
fair-
over here and
to
say
be fair,
nothing.
to be fair, that's all military branches. You ever hear two people from the same military branch talking to each
Oh
other?
yeah. Yeah.
The amount of expletives that go between each other is
As somebody who spent time
Yeah.
in a Marine base in the US with a Marine, I can tell you that is true.
Oh
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. But yeah, dirty jokes going around, grumbling about kind of stuff that happened during shore while they were at
Important
shore.
question. Are Sesh and I the only women on board?
Yes.
He didn't even roll. He like looked at his dice and said, "You know what? Fuck that."
Nah. Nah. Yeah. Nah.
Well, let's be
yeah.
fair here for a second, right? I'm pretty sure Sesh could kill each man on this ship except for the other PCs with
To be
her
fair, I think
thighs.
Mog could too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we could probably kill everybody on this ship.
But only for a limited amount of time before she wouldn't be able to anymore.
Sesh should be like, "I'm just gonna hit him with my giant sword."
Cantrip
It dep-
everything.
Oh,
it
that's
depends
true.
on
You
the
do.
spell. Yeah, she does have
She could just
Eldritch
Eldritch
Blast.
Blast each of them to death. It's cool.
But to be fair, it depends on the what spell she uses. If it's a warlock,
Tower of
then
the
just
dead.
summon some sort of demon to kill them all. You know, that's...
She's just like, "Here's my friend Lucifer. He's an awesome dude. He also will eat your soul, so don't touch me."
But you go through. There's a meal midway through the day. That's really it's about what you'd expect. You're not passengers on the boat. You are employees essentially. You're working. You have duties, though. You don't really do anything during that. You're just kind of watching or patrolling. Like it's not an active role. You are a passive presence on board. It didn't take you long to figure out that okay, I need to be out of the way of what these guys are doing. And we're gonna roll through time here. 3 days later, they get a whale.
3 days later.
They get a whale. Oh.
They get a whale 3 days later and kill it. And this,
Oh, wait a minute.
it's a whale.
And Mog goes, oh.
Never
But
seen
they get-
such a creature.
Yeah, they get a big
good
whale. It's the ship's continuing to move, but it's dragging a whale essentially along it. But they're doing their work, and you get to see that up close.
And smell it up close.
Yeah, Isaac and Rivallon of them just butchering this thing, and you can tell why there's a lot of soot now. There seems to be a furnace below deck that excess stuff that they can't use is put into to burn off.
That's going
So-
to stink.
That's
It
gonna
does.
feel real bad.
It does. It permeates the ship. It permeates the
Smells
ship.
like dead body in here.
It also permeates the persons that are working on the deck.
Quick
Right.
check who puke.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Hang on. I'm gonna throw up, I know it.
Oh, I throw up. I throw up.
Those are checks.
Yes!
Oh, mine's
No,
the same
these are
anyway.
checks.
So
Oh well.
That's a good
Oh
point.
wait, we
Oh!
don't-
Oh,
Oh.
that's 20!
Beautiful.
That's funny.
smells like the blood of
26.
my. It smells like the blood of my
Fine.
enemies. I'm good.
I'm
Alright.
just
Is
at least
asking for a
Hey.
bit to eat.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this. This
So
smells.
Sesh, you lose it after they start chucking in. After they start chucking in like things they can't use from the whale they catch into the furnace, and it just starts stinking up the place. So you lose it when that happens.
Namely, my lunch.
Yeah.
Lunch, breakfast.
Everybody else, you're okay, but Isaac and Rivallon, when you go like to get something to eat for lunch later on that day, you notice that when you sit down and you kind of like brush like a little bit something off of your clothes, you realize when you bring your hand back and you look at it, it's just black from all the soot that's built up on your person. So you're just
I should not have worn white robes.
Yeah, so you're just
F's in chat.
it's like coal miner. It's like a coal miner thing.
Question.
Isaac now has black lung.
Yeah,
So,
I'm guessing
I
that's
have-
just fine. It's like I'm naturally used to this.
Yeah, you also aren't on deck. Like your
So
position's
I
inside.
wipe my hand
True.
over myself, and although my armor stays black, my hand then turns black.
Yeah, that's that you notice.
You've got
Oh wow, I'm just
Ninja!
covered in
Ninja!
soot.
This matters all over his throat.
But it's not dry soot either. It's a little greasy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a little greasy.
Super Ninja. I'm all black now.
It's camo cream.
Nighttime.
Yeah,
Come on.
kinda-
Yeah,
kinda-
this
That's
white
a-
robe I bought is never going to be white again. Okay, good.
No.
No,
You
probably
are-
shouldn't have worn that on a
Well,
whaling
I'm not
ship.
going to wear my palo or what am I?
Back a bit. Go for a smoke.
Especially if these
Alright.
guys come from
Paramin.
Paramin, but that's
Yeah, but
gonna make a crew hate me.
I
yeah,
mean,
three days in, you see that, you get through that. People are starting to warm up to you a little bit. Like they're not seeking you out, but there's like they're not whenever somebody's like telling a joke and it's to a group of friends and they don't know you, they're telling it to that group and they're just kind of incidentally there. After a while, you're no longer incidentally there. They're sharing the joke with you. They're telling the story with you there to you as well as a group. But nobody's like seeking you out to like
it's a minor change.
ask.
It's a good one.
Yeah, they're changing their disposition towards you just a little bit, just a little bit. They're not super hostile or cagey. They just don't know you, and they're not necessarily seeking you out because you're not going to be here for long. But they're like, they're doing their job, I guess.
I'll trade some like she santies with Margot at midnight shift because I have nothing better to do.
I have a dragon chest set.
So do I, and I know how to use it. So
Okay,
But we do
just
also
play
do
chess.
need to
You're just on deck at night playing
Dragon chess.
chess.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Sasha's just like sitting there singing sea shanties while playing dragon chess because she's like, I've got nothing fucking better to do.
And
Hey,
Mog's
if-
teaching her all the orc songs.
Oh, cool.
There you go. So yeah, you get 3 days in, and that's what happens. 2 days later, there's a it's not bad. 2 days later, there's a bit of a party. Apparently, one of the crew member has a birthday that happened, and they're having like not a birthday party, but they're having like they're ribbing him for it, and there's apparently the cookie, the person who cooked, for everybody who doesn't know what that means, cooks up not a cake, but what looks to be a joke meal. It's a half-cooked sea trout that's been propped up in a jaunty position as kind of like with a little candle on the top of it. Is a thing. They're just having a good time. But the first week goes by without too much trouble. And you all get through that without too much. After that, the first mate rotates the day and night shifts of the deck patrol. So that you're
I
switching.
throw those dirty jokes, and I am giving them as good as I hear.
All right.
Town
Actually-
guard.
Yeah, actually, you fit in pretty well. For the most
If Mog
part,
wasn't
like
so green, she'd be blushing.
they're enjoying your presence. They're talking as they work. Mog, they're actually working in your presence now that you're on the day shift. However you want to go about dealing with that.
Oh, she will
It's up to
continue
you.
with her sea shanties as well once she's not.
No, I'm talking about Mog.
doing jokes.
Seeing these guys butchering this
Oh yeah.
this animal and getting like whale oil and
Mog's
just
just
everything.
in her happy place. We'll put her in her
Yeah.
happy place.
And you figure out, okay, these aren't leather. Those aren't leather
goes by on
aprons.
a
Those are aprons made of whale skin that they've made.
Yeah, of course they are.
And they've got these like gnarly big blades, and they're just cutting things. They're cutting things away and tossing them into the furnace or putting it in barrels and stuff. And it goes fairly well. You can definitely tell why they said it would be more than a week to get to where you're going, because the ship crawls with this animal being dragged. But after they get the majority of it and they leave what they can't as a carcass just on the water and burned off what they don't need and put away, it gets a bit quicker. They're still looking around, but it's just kind of, they're going for their run. They're going for the run. A couple of days later, you're all just going by. Funny enough, Captain doesn't come out that often of his cabin. Though you do know the first mate goes in every so often, comes back with new orders or like a chart for adjusting course, that kind of stuff. He comes onto the deck very seldomly, but when he does, people do seem to respect him. So the crew does. It does seem like he has a fairly decent amount of respect from the crew.
Can I
Go ahead.
ask to see if they have any maps of the Firewood Islands
Fireward Islands.
where we're going, essentially?
One day you ask the first mate if you have some charts of that area. And he thinks, not specifically, nothing detailed. Just kind of stay away from that area for the most part. There's some of the outer islands are fairly small. It's hard to chart. You know what they say about it. It's a chain of 1,000 islands, so it's very difficult to know exactly all of them. It's kind of an area on the map. We'll get there soon enough for whatever you need to do. Go by a couple more days. It's
Sessions on
getting-
deck singing some sea shanties to improve mood.
Yeah.
Random shit. Just having a good time. It's almost like being home again. Almost.
Yeah. Go into a new month. And then about just a day before 2 weeks later, after all this time, you're called to the captain's quarters, the whole guard complement, later on in the day. When you enter, this is the first time any of you have entered, even Ustenia, who didn't need to go anywhere when he was called. You're just outside of the door. By the way, people are staying away from you, Ustenia. That gnarly axe is there.
Gnarly axe, the armor, the displacer
Yeah.
beast hat. You know?
Guys are kind of scared of you. You're a scary looking Ustenian, or no?
Ustenian. Yeah, they're now
Yes.
Ustenian. They are Ustenians. They're not Utesians. They're Ustenians.
Ustenian.
I have named the species.
Yeah.
He's a pinnacle of the species. Therefore, they will be named after
pinnacle. You may not like him. This is what peak performance
Homo
is.
erectus Christianus.
But
We have
enter-
ascended.
yeah, you enter into the quarters.
We are Ustinia now.
Yeah. There's
We
a
are all the Ustinia now.
there's a small fold-out desk against one of the walls that the captain seems to have, with some charts on it. There's a bookshelf with a door to the front of it with some small glass pane on it. Small bed. It's fairly. It's not fancy by any of the means. It is definitely in keeping with the ship. But the captain is sitting behind his little fold-out desk because it like folds into the wall and then folds back out again when it's not in use, or when it's in use and back out when it is. He says, "We're going to be arriving where we're going to drop you off sometime at night.
Excellent.
Do you have any specific requests? 8 hours is what we planned for, but do you want us to slow up for the return trip?
Could you give us 12?
Easily enough.
It's going to be 2 hours each way, which will give us 8 hours actually investigating
yeah.
the area.
If the island wasn't so heavily forested, we wouldn't need you to slow off.
Easily enough. For reference, we're only going to be spending an hour at the drop site when we come back. If you're not there by that point, we're leaving.
Understood.
If all goes according to
Any
plan,
particular-
we'll be waiting for you.
We won't need a boat, by the way, to get onto the island.
You sure? We already had one prepped.
You guys think we should just walk onto the...
Yes,
I
you
can
really want
cast
to
walk
swim
on
in
water.
your 94,000 tons of armor.
He's got water walking.
I got water walk. Hi.
It's a cleric.
Okay, fair.
Sure you're going to have that to be able to cast on the way back?
I can... Yeah. I think it's a level 3 spell. I think I can cast it twice. Let me double check that. I think it's a level 3 spell. I remember casting it back
it's
when
a
we were
level
doing the
2.
stuff for...
It's a level 2 spell. Welcome.
No, it's a level 3 spell. But that's fine. I have 3 level 3 spell slots. And I can cast it at a higher level if I need to.
I'm just making sure. I don't want you to be stranded on the shore if you can't get back, because we're not coming any closer.
I would take the boat as backup.
Yeah, let's take the
Yeah.
boat. Let's
Okay.
take the boat.
Let's
And
not
then
be
if the boat
fancy.
dies, we'll run.
If we need to like make a quick exit, I can be like water walk and we just run.
Mm-hmm.
Against the water.
I mean,
All right.
I'm feeling that I fly us back.
Yeah. All right. Easy enough. The island's fairly easy to spot, but we're getting into some fog, so
How thick?
enough that lighthouse is probably the only reason we even know where it's at.
It's a mighty good reason for the lighthouse being there, doesn't it? Keeps people
Starting
away.
to feel...
but-
Might be a little bit of a trap, but here we are.
We'll spot it, go around, and drop you off on the opposite side of the island.
Cool.
Got it, Captain.
All right. Get your stuff together. And stay quiet. I don't want them knowing where we're at. Or that a ship's even nearby. I'd rather not endanger my boat.
You got it.
Understood.
All right. Just shoos you away.
Shit the fuck out. Get the fuck.
Get out of here.
Them whippersnappers.
Okay. So, a few hours later, it's the middle of the night. The crew themselves are not on deck. And it's only you, the first mate, and the captain on deck. There is a longboat that has been taken off of the storage or the storage position in the center part of the deck and put into the pulleys to drop it into the water. It's just above the water with some ropes leading down to it, and they're waiting for you when you get on deck. It's quiet. No lanterns are on. The ship is dark.
Rivallon whispers, "Shotgun."
I put my hand on like Isaac's, like around the bottom back of his bicep, so I can still see where I'm going. Don't have dark vision, remember?
Oh,
So-
hang on to me then.
I've got that
Right.
vision as well.
Whoever's there, she's just like, all right, you'll do.
Rivallon's dodging your hand.
You can
You
tell.
can barely see Rivallon.
I got
You can
dark
tell
vision.
where the island is
No,
because
we can't see you.
Okay.
It's pitch black, isn't it, right now? It's like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
you can tell where the island is because you can see that lighthouse every minute or so. A light beam kind of goes through the fog every so often. It must be a pretty tall one because you can see it through the tree canopy that makes up the center part of the island, which is which is higher up in elevation than the edge. So it must be fairly tall. But
it's not for boats and for something else.
But the captain and the first mate get you into the boat. Like I said, 12 hours.
What time is it now?
Get- It's currently... It is currently midnight.
So noon.
So, noon. Yeah.
Do we
I
have
need more
a
time.
map?
No, there is no map, but I will draw on the Iral or the Othala map. I'll draw an outline of what the island actually looks like, because I didn't expect you guys to get here that quickly. I thought the shopping would take a little bit longer, so I don't have the work in progress isn't finished yet. Finished yet? Finished yet.
Oh, you got the whaling on your brain.
Yeah. So on the world map, the Othalan map near Yaren's Abyss, the island kind of looks like that. The lighthouse is the X, and you're being dropped off. Oop, no, that didn't. Being dropped off.
Oh, okay.
The little star
Okay.
place. I was gonna make an arrow there, but I couldn't draw it with the mouse.
I'm gonna.
Oh, there it is.
sketch that.
Where?
Down
Yeah.
and then left.
I'm gonna sketch that.
Ah.
Yeah.
So the little X is where we're being dropped off.
No, the little X is where the lighthouse is. The big star pattern where
Star,
you're being
yeah.
dropped off.
All
We're
right.
being dropped off nearly directly south of Paramin, essentially.
Yep,
Well,
got it.
the island's
Got
the
it.
island's actually over here.
and
But
it's
you know what
small.
I'm saying? Like when it's drawn on the map, it's
Oh,
directly
yeah,
south of
drawn,
Paramin.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in that little bay there.
Yeah.
But
That's the LZ.
yeah, the LZ's the big star pattern.
Are we gonna move over to an Arma for a session while we're doing this for the LZ?
Is that, you're basically doing a. You're
joking
basically doing
aside, we need to make as much ground as possible while it's dark.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, because we got to be out of here by noon.
No,
That
means
we
we're
really
gonna
want
be
to be on our way
escaping
back
it.
Well-
by.
as you're being lowered,
for that.
the captain,
Yeah.
as being lowered, the captain says, "If you need more time, get in contact somehow. We'll try and slow it up even more.
I'm
Don't
going
want to
to-
tip off the crew."
Yeah, I'm just looking at the captain's face to try and take him in because he
Yeah,
hasn't
me
been
too.
around. We need
I'm
to
trying
be
to
able
take him in. No, actually, I'm taking in the first mate because he's been around more. He's
Oh,
been
yeah,
around
no,
more. First
we-
mate's been around more. So
But you're being lowered down slowly. It's very quiet. It's almost like the pulleys have been greased and oiled. There's no squeaking. It's just
They've got enough ambergris
Plenty of oil
around.
on a whale ship.
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
All that
that
whale
or
grease.
it's just covered in oily soot. It doesn't
Equally
like-
possible. Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna take
No
some of
rust
the
on this
wood
ship.
and darken my skin.
I mean, I'm a giant silver dragonborn, so yes. Seems
I was
like a good
expecting you
idea.
guys to prepare the night by just rubbing the soot over all of your reflective items
Oh,
and stuff.
yeah.
And
I mean,
yeah.
that happened
Big camera
naturally.
cream.
okay.
Well, not for you guys, not for me. I'm having to do it now.
Oh, that's true.
You're like,
so Ustenia, you're
He's got
taking
a
like your
bunch in a longboat.
you're doing your mail and you're just grabbing up the oily soot and you're just covering your stuff with the oily soot to get the shine down before you cross the river.
I'm
into
so
Eindhoven.
upset, but also I need to do this because this is all brand new and nice and shit.
Okay.
All the
So-
furs, man, I'll never get it out of it.
You're lowered into the water. There's a little noise as like the top of one wave kind of catches the bottom of the boat as it lowers, but then you're put in, and like, then the pulleys are let go, and you're free. And you're slowly drifting away from the boat. There
Who's
are two
rowing?
oars.
Not Mog.
I'll row, along with the city, I
Alright.
assume.
You're probably about.
Yep.
You're probably about 300
the
or
two
400
people
meters.
who can't see are rowing.
Yeah, well, we don't need to be able to see.
I can
They need to know a heading
It'll
is
be
all they need
backwards
to know.
anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're facing
Yeah, you're
backwards.
backwards on a boat. Yeah,
They don't need to see.
yeah. They just need to
You
know a
just need
heading.
to like tell us, hey, Ustinia,
Yeah.
row harder.
You're about 300 to 400 meters from the shoreline.
And Rivallon's on the bow, doing that kind
Okay,
of
you're just
commando
watching.
thing.
All right. You're slowly
Mog's
creeping
looking at the
forward.
stern.
Slowly creeping forward. You do see the boat. The sails slowly unfurl, and it just silently starts making its way away from the island. As you go. It starts moving. There's still no light. There's still nothing to give it away that the boat was there. And you kind of realize there might be a reason why they used a whaling ship, because in the night, all that black soot covering the ship really blends it together, even against like a slightly not as dark sky.
Or when the lighthouse light comes around, it probably doesn't stand out as much with all the
Doesn't
white
stand as much.
sails.
It's also very, very benefit. You can also see the timeline here. If I don't remember who actually uses the calendar anymore. But calendar-wise, the only all three of the moons, there's a new moon fading, and a new moon fading. So there's practically no moonlight in the sky for all three moons. It is
Sweet.
almost completely dark. There's just
Which
a
is
sliver
rare,
of
I
one.
assume, on this planet, because there's 3 moons.
There's 3 moons. There's only a tiny sliver of the largest moon, but it's
Yeah.
barely there.
Which is why I assume it'd be rare, because there's usually at least something of one of them.
Oh yeah. By the way, you guys got into a new year. That was
Yeah, that's what I assumed. I'm like, oh yeah, it's a new month, therefore it's a new year.
3, 4. That was 5 days ago. It was the new year.
Yeah.
Which isn't
We thought we
really
had a
celebrated as a holiday. Because there's you had the holiday, like the festival of spirits and stuff, which is kind of like the end of the year holiday thing. It's just a thing. But you slowly get to the shore, and you can see this is a low, squat sandbar of an island in a way. There's not a lot of elevation change here, and the only place there's a big elevation change is near where that lighthouse is, and it's thick. The forest, maybe about 10 meters away from the edge of the water, it's like a wall of green. The beach is very small,
Right, Rivallon, I think you should take the lead here.
and a couple of minutes later, the
Okay.
boat nudges against and gets to the shore, and you bring it up onto the shore. And you can feel...
Can we
Is
bring
there anything you can
into
cover
the
it
tree
in?
line?
Like
Can we
foliage
bring
and stuff
it
like
into
that?
the tree line, yeah.
Yeah, with all of you, you could definitely lift it. Yeah, that wouldn't be a
Yeah.
hard
Yeah,
thing to do. You can...
Let's bring it into the tree line so it's not spottable if they've got boats for in the daytime.
They also said they do patrol the coasts, so it'd be best to
Yeah,
put it off
okay.
the coast, yeah.
All right, you pick it up. You tote it into the just inside the tree line, and you put it down. Are you just leaving it? Inside
No, I
the
want to
tree line,
cover
or
it in
you-
some foliage as well.
Yeah, we'll find
Okay.
some branches.
Think of this like because you know how like Washington and Oregon and stuff like that is technically a rainforest, but it's a temperate rainforest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the actual technical term for it. It's kind of like that. It's quasi bit of that. It's not too cold right now. It's definitely it's moderately chilly right now in the night, but it's wet. It's thick on the ground, the undergrowth. The trees are old, super old. But you find like big ferns and stuff, and you just kind of like pile them on top of the boat, and you get a fairly decent coverage of it. You think if you weren't looking for it, you wouldn't be able to spot it.
I'm definitely a good judge of that.
Yeah, you could definitely find it again.
Yeah.
But it's hidden generally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Mitch Dad.
Mr.
Is it part of the Slingo Gingo yet that Mitch Dad appears?
Oh, we don't do it
'Cause it
anymore.
isn't.
Yeah. No,
Oh.
nobody was playing.
Aww.
Aww.
Damn it.
Though you do notice when you look out the way you got here, there is a mark in the sand of where the boat was came onto the shore, and there's there's footprints of your group coming onto the coming into the forest.
Someone, cover our tracks.
I like take up a big branch and just sweep as best I can to get rid of as many of the
Like backwards
tracks.
from the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
up to the tree line.
Okay. I'm not even gonna make you roll. That's pretty easy thing to do. You sweep, and you kind of cover your footprints as you back into the forest. So it doesn't. It looks like it's been disturbed, but it doesn't necessarily look like footprints
Might have been
anymore.
Might have been big fish or something. Gator
Or
maybe.
seal or something coming up onto the shore.
It was a gator. Them gators.
A gator. It's a bit. Climate's a bit bad for that. But you're
Hey
fairly.
man,
good.
this is an entirely different world, entirely different ecology.
You think it's fairly well covered. Perception check
Nice gators.
from everybody.
Them fantasy gators. The advantage, man.
Perception check.
Oh, finally rolled well. Thank God.
Not bad.
Bad.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And do Stenya?
14.
Ostania.
Stenia.
Ah, come on!
I'm furiously clicking this, not
There we go.
There you go.
Furiously.
We just see him like, come on.
So, Sesh, Mog, and Ustenia. You're all like half crouched in this overgrowth on the edge of the forest, and you're about ready to start talking about the plan. And then you hear, maybe about 75, 50 meters away, down the northern edge of the beach and coming closer. Initially some steps, and then you hear some low talking.
Do
Someone's
we
coming.
recognise the language?
I'll say yes. Sounds kind of like Elvish.
But the
But
Elvish
not.
that the
Salah's Elvish.
Salah's Elvish.
It's close to that, yeah.
I like the Punisher t-shirt, by the way, Rival.
No problems.
You hear some low
Oh.
talking, and it's like
You see a hand come
two
up.
two distinct voices.
Someone's coming. Rival, Rivallon. Spell you have.
No.
Very useful right now.
Well, everyone's being quiet.
So let's get
For
closer.
God's sake, yes, fine. I'll cast bloody thing because no one can remain quiet except friggin' Rivallon, can they?
Exactly.
It's legitimately your job.
This is what you're good for. Being a badass, stealth operative.
So you're casting Pass Without a Trace, and I'm guessing we're stealthing.
Yeah.
I think you just tell Roach that it's cast. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. There you go.
Pass
And then
that
we just had
trace
10.
is okay. Everybody,
Gets plus
stealth
10.
check. And you get,
You get
10
plus
to
10
whatever
to your
you roll.
stealth.
I needed it. 14. I rolled
That's
a 2.
not stealth. That's survival.
Oh, yes!
Nice one, Mog.
Nice.
Okay, so
Well, I needed it. I got
it's,
21.
Oh,
Well,
That's a-
I
that's a 9.
got a 10.
Then 19
so
then.
that's Now
Oh
a
no,
20.
9 altogether. Yeah.
Okay,
Get
so
that feet,
30,
orc.
21, 20. Ustenia also needs to roll stealth.
Oh,
Oh, dropped a natural 20.
that's a
Yeah.
It's still a 15 though. It's
Still
better
a
than my
15.
result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a that's a 30, 21, 10, 20, 15.
And a 9. 'Cause
No,
it's a
no,
1
no.
minus
Nine?
1,
No.
so
no,
it's a
no,
9.
no, no, it's a
No,
0,
it's a 0
plus
plus
10.
10.
Oh, so it's a 10.
That's why I was counting it out. So it's a 30, 21, 10, 20,
Yes.
15, which because of that 30 means the average is pretty high. 'Cause it's a 30. Because I'm taking the average of all of the rolls.
Pain,
Which,
pure pain.
I forgot how to calculate averages. You add all of them together. and
Add all of
divide
them
Yeah,
divide by the number.
add them all together, divide them by the number of numbers.
Yeah, so it's
So add them all
30
divided by 5.
plus 21 plus 10 plus 20 plus 15.
Divided by 5.
That divided by 5 equals a 19.2.
Wow.
So it'd be
I wouldn't see us.
19. It's 19 average stealth. So they get closer and closer, and they're still talking amongst themselves. None of you can understand what they're actually saying as they're talking. But there's like some laughter going between the two of them. It's low, it's just kind of some low talking, and they pass within probably about 10 feet of you as they're going down. The ones that can see in darkness, you see them. They're wearing uniforms of a similar kind of cut to Sala's uniform that you saw, but of a different color. It does have the predominant white, but
we can't
white.
see colors.
Oh right, yeah, I can. It's it's just mats of gray, different cut, less ornate. The hat that they're wearing is a bit more squat to their head than the tall one that Sala's uniform consisted of. Symbology looks the same, and they're both carrying what looks to be an enlarged version of the weapon that Sala had used to dispatch that one brigand leader and blew up his head. They're about 5.5 feet long, with the same kind of lock mechanism a part of them. 3 bands lashing the barrel to the wood stock over their shoulders on a strap, and they seem to also have like equipment on a belt and a pretty gnarly looking, slightly curved sword band on their side as they're walking. But just talking amongst each other, walking. They're like looking around every so often, looking off into the fog, and keep going. They're not breaking stride. They're just patrolling. Looks like, or doing like a shore patrol.
I know why Mog got a 20. She is green in the forest.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you all
Not sure if racist or not, but okay.
You all stand still. Sesh, you shift for a minute, and then Mog steadies you, and
Oh.
they pass by further down the shore, further and further away, further away, further away, and then they're out of earshot.
Sash was like reaching for her weapon, almost tipped over.
No, we don't want to cause a fuss.
Not this early.
Exactly.
On the way
Later.
out, we can kill as many of them as you want. Rivallon.
Exactly.
And then they are
assuming
out of
we get
earshot, and you think you're clear.
We need to start beelining it towards the
Yeah.
lighthouse.
Rivallon, lead the way.
Rivallon?
Is there?
Rivallon? He's already gone, hasn't he?
Fucking asshole.
Is there a way we can? Because I'm aware that only 3 of us can see. So is there something we can cast that gives a very low level light that you can?
No.
It's either bright
any-
or nothing.
Hang on.
It's bright or nothing.
Yeah. Hold on.
It's bright nothing.
So we have me in the front. We've got someone at the back who's got dark vision, and the one in the middle guides the other 2.
That seems to make sense, yeah.
I can.
Yeah.
Who's more?
Put Isaac in the middle.
Yeah, I'll put me in the middle because I'm the least.
Okay, Mog's at the back.
All right. So you begin worming your way through the brush to
Yep.
the lighthouse. All right. You start your way through. It's the middle of the night. It's pitch black. So even after an hour in darkness, it's still hard to see past your nose. Like, you know, your eyes adjust to the darkness, but without ambient light, it's still pretty hard to see. And there's a couple of times where some tripped over low, like tall roots or low branches, kind of hit yourself. Thankfully, there's no like briars or thorns that you're coming across. But it's hot even at night. It's muggy. Everything's covered in just like a mist that permeates everything. But you go for an hour through this. I'm gonna need you, whoever's leading this formation, to make a survival check.
I think this is also your preferred terrain, so you might get
It is.
advantage.
I get advantage.
Okay.
Let's roll.
Nice.
21.
All right.
21.
Rivallon.
Yes.
Rivallon, using your knowledge of the forest,
Yes.
you're able to maintain a heading. Even through that, you're using all the tricks, like keeping, instead of relying on your own internal measures to measure your steps, which can lead you to like take broad circles.
Yeah.
You're like focusing on an object, going towards that, and then focusing on another object and going towards that, and you're maintaining straight lines, and you're bringing it through, and you're keeping pace with him. There's very few actual clearings in this place. It is thick. This is untamed wilderness, even on this small island, and it's hard to get a speed going. You're always having to bypass obstacles and duck under trees or climb over like logs. You're going through. It is a slog. But 2 hours through, you get towards, oddly enough, not a clearing, but it's starting to give way. Now there's distance between some of these trees, and the undergrowth is starting to go away. I need a perception check from those who can see in the dark.
19.
24.
Nice.
Okay, Isaac.
Isaac.
9.
9.
19, 24.
Rivallon
9.
and Mog. You both
Yeah.
pass the DC.
I'm trying to focus on keeping the two that can't see walking. So
I mean,
This way, this way.
you do have to deal with like a 7.5-foot tall dragonborn and a giant man, so you know that's fair.
You see ahead
I
of
think
you.
Isaac's taller than Justinia.
Oh yeah, but you're not. He's much more beefy, I'd assume,
He's a
than you.
beefier person.
He's a beefy man.
You see in front of you a settlement. It looks like, unknown to you, you kind of increased elevation a little bit in the midpoint of the island, and now you're going back down, and you see kind of lower on the elevation to you a settlement. Maybe at one point might have housed 200-300 people clustered around a bay. It's all wooden structures, some stone here and there. You don't see a quarry or anything like that nearby. And you see on the other side of the settlement, on a little offshoot, little peninsula, a little tiny one, a large white stone. Well, actually, you can't see color, but it looks
it
like
looks white.
you
looks
can see.
like.
Well, yeah, but you can't tell if it's white or just like bright pink or something like that. But
No, if we were to describe it with black and white vision, it would be white.
yeah, a white stone lighthouse that goes up maybe 75-80 feet into the air to the top, and it's bright light, unlike ones that you've seen before, is slowly moving in two beams instead of the wide beam. Like, you know, normally it's just a
Yeah.
brightly lit fire with maybe like a mirror or something, or to magnify it, or glass around it. This is directionalized light coming out from two different ends, slowly
Probably
rotating,
magical then.
possibly. But
Might be a search light type thing. It's actually looking for something.
but you see
Or it's better
that
technology.
in front of you, maybe about almost a half-mile down from where you're at to the edge of this settlement. From where you're at, Mog, you can see there is movement down there, but it's very difficult to differentiate.
Well, I suggest we pull all the team together and have a little quick discussion about how we're going to proceed, and then do that next time.
Yeah, because we're 3 minutes before the end of the session.
So, we will see you guys next week, same time, 7:30 BST. If you're at a different location, do convert the times. Roach, what time is it normally start for you? Because you're a good other person to go off of.
I think 1:30.
1:30 Central.
1:30 or 12:30. Yeah, I'm Central.
So
I think it's 1:30.
yeah, there is your conversions. As always, though, thank you to Commissar Roach for DMing this campaign. You can find him at youtube.com/Commissar Roach. We also have with us surely only Mikey. We have Red Moogle, who you can find at Rival Zone Gaming. You catch him at wherever you can find Rival Zone Gamings, which is Twitch and YouTube.
Yes.
At that address. We also have Utari Onzo, our friendly upperkin man. You can find him at twitch.tv/Utari Onzo. And I, of course, have been Midgeman. You can catch me wherever you find your Midgeman. That's youtube.com/the Midgeman's World or twitch.tv/Midgeman. Until next week, we will see you then. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.